Hello, and welcome to Proficiency Bonus Birthday Week. This is the DM's game, run by me, Master of
Yes!
DMs, not a title I deserve,
Hey.
Victoria. Before we get into everything, we have a couple announcements as per usual. So first of all, obviously, you already know what it is. Little Dragon Corp, you guys. Little Dragon Corp is a really awesome Canadian tabletop supply company, and they have dice, they have dice trays, they got little light up dice bases, they got all kinds of stuff. So you should check out their Twitter at Little Dragon Co 1 so you can stay updated on their awesome products. They just finished a Kickstarter, I think last week, and I think they unlocked a decent amount of stretch goals too, so that's really cool. So they're going to be coming out with some really awesome dice soon for the story of the Little Dragon. So that's going to be awesome. And when you go to their website, which is littledragoncorp.com, you can use the coupon code PROBONUS, PROBONUS, and you will get 10% off of your order because they're really cool. Also, just a big thanks to Twitch, OBS, Streamlabs, Many-Sided Dice, and Team MZ. It is thanks to their support that we are motivated and able to do what we do here. And don't forget to check out our other games. We have a schedule posted below the Twitch video feed. But basically, we got games every day. Some days we have more than one game. Some of the games are from published 5th edition Dungeons & Dragons modules. Others are homebrew. Some of the games aren't even Dungeons & Dragons. We've got all Star Wars. There's all kinds of stuff. We've got something for you. So you should definitely check it out. Just, show up on the channel and someone might be doing something.
That's about it, right?
Basically. Yeah. Michael, do you want to talk about the giveaway thing? Because I don't know the specifics of that.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. So this week, I contacted my friendly local game store, Cardboard Castle Games, here just on the other side of the border in Evans, Georgia. They are officially coming on board as a sponsor for our channel. So
Ooh.
Cardboard Castle Games is going to be supporting us, and they gave us over $200 in merchandise to give away this week. So today we're going to be giving away a Magic the Gathering Flash of Ferocity Challenger deck during the stream. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to open the giveaway now so that way people can come in and just enter. So
Cool.
If you are in there, all you have to do is type in DM Master in the chat to get yourself entered into the giveaway for this very special stream. And I don't know, Victoria, maybe near the end or an hour to go or something like that, we can pull it then. It's up to you.
Yeah, we can do that.
And also, a quick reminder, as a benefit to our subscribers to the channel, get a little bit of bump up on the weight of their submission into the giveaways. So if you're a subscriber to our channel, it's kind of like putting 2 of your name in the hat instead of just 1. So
Nice.
because
Nice.
honestly, that's really we don't have too many subscriber incentives, but that's one of our big ones. So
And we're also raising money for Extra Life, right?
absolutely. Yep.
Yes.
Yeah.
We've raised almost $200 so far towards our
Nice.
$750 goal. And if you click on the big green donate button under Extra Life down below, you can help support the cause. So we would love that.
Awesome. Yeah, I think that's... Does anyone else have any other announcements?
Nope.
Nope. Okay. Yeah, so I guess we'll just do a quick little round of introduction things since this is a different group than usual. I'm Victoria. I'm usually a player on Wednesday night games, but today I'm the Dungeon Master. Sarah, tell us who you are and where you normally DM and play.
Hi, I'm Sarah. I DM for Sunday nights with Curse of Strahd, which is just wrapping up. So if you want to come see Shenanigans, we'll be on air for another week with the fight against Strahd. Maybe I don't think my voice can go any higher than that. But otherwise, I'm playing a familiar face in the campaign named Jenny Greenteeth, and she is a pretty much a hag. She's fun. So she has been peppered throughout the campaign here and there. So come see Strahd this Sunday when we finish up our big battle. But that's it.
Oh boy. Alrighty. Matthew, like Big Beard Matthew.
Big Beard Matthew.
Tell us when are you normally in my chair?
So you can find me actually the day after Sarah.
Yes.
Monday nights on We
Is it
Met in a
this way?
Tavern.
This way.
Yeah, I am. You're that way, I think.
This way.
Or this way. I don't
This
know.
way. This way. Okay.
The whole backwards camera thing.
Yeah, I know that you're this way.
Yeah, you just gotta go opposite, but whatever.
So you can find me Monday nights DMing for We Met in a Tavern. Tonight I am, well, spoilers. Tonight I am bringing a party favorite, Fabio the Cabin Boy, who the party does not know anything really about yet.
No, actually, we haven't.
But any of them watching at home, their players will learn real quick tonight or today.
Oh boy, that's gonna be exciting. All right, Alex.
Yeah, so I am a DM on Saturday nights. I had to think for a minute because it's Sunday mornings for me,
Yeah.
but Saturday nights for you. Yeah, that's where I'm at. I've never been a player character on stream before.
Heck yeah. I promise I'll probably maybe not kill you.
Oh, great. Because
Great.
I'm playing the first quest giver of Insight Check, which was
Wow.
before Fable Whispers. Just very leveled down because she's usually a level 20 druid in the game, but
I'm
obviously
sorry
I
I've
can't do
nerfed
that.
you.
Yeah.
So this is a very young version of
Yeah.
her.
She's a little baby. She's
Yeah,
nerfed.
she's a baby.
Next on the little row is Michael.
Hey everybody, I'm Michael. I am the Dungeon Master for Friday nights, right here on Proficiency Bonus for the show Kindred List, formerly known as Storm King's Thunder. It started 3 years ago here on this channel. Crazy.
Crazy.
And I'm going to be playing one of my players' favorite NPCs from Storm King's Thunder, Sarvin, the Dragonborn Ranger, and he too is not allowed to die, Victoria, because if he dies, then he never existed in the other campaign because this is prior to them meeting him.
Wow.
And last but definitely not least is Matt. Other Matt. I'm gonna call Matt, and I'm gonna call Matthew, just for the sake of differentiation.
Does anyone feel like this is the Matt game all over again?
Oh, no. Listen,
I miss that. I'm so sad.
the first person that makes a pun, I will attack you with everything I have.
What's the
I am-
matter?
Oh god, I am Matt, and I am the Dungeon Master on Tuesday night's game, formerly Tabletop Legends, now Delve Requisite. The character that I am playing is actually not from that game. It is from a long-running home game of mine that has streamed a few times on the channel over the
So good.
over the past year or so, and it is sort of an affront to God and nature. So I do apologize for that in advance. It is what my players voted for me to play in this, so I did not have a choice. But I am Globba Bob, the sentient gelatinous cube, pilots a crash dummy style mannequin body for the purposes of combat.
Oh man, I'm excited to see just like what happens with this. Yeah, if no one else has anything else that they want to say, I think we're all ready to jump in here. Oh, I'm nervous. Okay, let's see. Alrighty, got some stuff to read to you guys here. Sorry, give me 1 second to load my little page here. What? Apologies, my computer runs very slow. And I have a Discord call up. It is not happy with me.
It's okay, Victoria. If anybody is using their bingo sheets, like within the first 10 minutes, usually you can X off that middle one with technical
Yeah.
difficulties. That's that. Yeah.
Very
We can
safe,
play a
very
game
safe.
called How Long Does It Take
There
Matt
you
to Find a Working Pen While We Wait? Oh, I got one. Second try. That's not bad.
Yeah, it's just the perpetual story of proficiency bonus here. Happy birthday to us.
Happy birthday to us.
There we go. That's what I'm looking for. Oh my Lanta.
We got some people in chat already adding to the giveaway, so
Yeah, absolutely.
that's exciting.
Ooh,
Thank you.
nice.
Yeah.
Okay. So, Michael, Matthew, Sarah, Matt, and Alex. It was another really entertaining session tonight. Your players actually bit at one of your plot hooks instead of throwing you a curveball and going completely off the books with their desires. And that secret backstory connection to the plot that you'd hidden away months ago, they finally found it, and boy, was the shock on their faces such a satisfying thing to see. You close your DM's guide, grab something to eat, and you find your mind wandering down the many different paths of your plots that could go next week, or maybe the week after, or maybe the week after that. The stories that you have told with your players unfold piece by piece, little by little, until a colorful tapestry of tales joyfully envelops your little storytelling family. The nerves, the insecurity, and the stress that sometimes nags at the back of your DM's mind melts away under that tapestry, and sleep overtakes you. When you all finally awaken, you feel strange. You know who you are, and you know what your dreams and goals and your quirks are, but your perception and your thoughts are different. You go to rub the sleep from your eyes or to brush the hair away, and something is very different. Sarah, your hands that normally gently pet and hold your beloved dog come up to your face spindly and gnarled, brushing away a matted clump of stringy hairs that is quite alien from the pretty tresses you're used to. A power thrums in your fingertips, and without understanding how or why they've come to you, a string of powerful words rests at the tip of your tongue, just waiting to unleash some strange new power. Matthew, you attempt to brush your hands across your majestic beard, but the face and the facial hair are different. The hands are gnarled, and a bit of sea salt is crusted on the edge of your sleeve. And your headspace feels dulled and not entirely your own. You look down at your other hand and see that it clutches a cruel-looking, yet badass, club that glows dimly like the coals and embers left over after a roaring fire. Alex, you slowly pull your eyes open because you thought you felt a brush of fur against you, but as you look around, neither Queenie nor Saphir are present. Instead, you look down to where your arm is resting against your abdomen to see a tuft of fur upon your wrist slowly melting back into the skin. Every muscle is supple and brimming with a kind of potential and malleability you've never felt before. Matt, you open your eyes and roll over so that you can wish your wife a good morning. It was just your anniversary after all, but she's not there, and you feel your body rolling in the strangest of ways. It's more fluid than any person should be, yet also confined. And that sharp wit of yours, the puns, the quips, the clever ideas, they're still there, but you find your train of thought halting and twisting or just dropping entirely into nothingness. In short, you feel dumb. Still witty, but a little bit dulled and a little bit dumb. Lastly, Michael, you pull yourself up and you take a big stretch, wiggling your fingers in front of you, but they're not your fingers. Your hands are normally careful but strong, capable of wielding an artist's tools, but also able to hold your growing children. These hands are more powerful and more deft than what you're used to, as if you could rip the eye out of a beholder like it was a peach pit. What's more, the skin is snow white and the fingers are clawed and scaled. Let me move something over here. Let me move this over here. There we go. So, the five of you look around, and you see individuals that are foreign to you, and yet something in your mind tells you you know these people, you know this person, even though they are clearly not normal humans the way that you're used to. And as you take in the space around you, you see row upon row, shelf upon shelf of endless books and scrolls and leaves of paper slowly billowing around as a bit of a breeze and magical essence settles around you. The room is warmly lit, but the lighting is a bit low, sort of like a rustic study. And the floor that you're all laying on is a very rich, dark hardwood, scattered with different paper. And some of the papers are blank, some of them have splotches of ink on them. And you see some weirdos, but you're like, I think I know these weirdos.
Oh, bloody hell! What's happened to me? Oh, what's wrong with my voice? Oh,
Why don't you give each of us, let's get each of you to just briefly describe what this character that you've chosen looks like, just so people have a bit more context. So we can just go in the same order that we did for the intros. So Sarah, you can go first.
Jenny Greenteeth. Yes, that's her name, Jenny Greenteeth, that she is. She's a human cleric, and grave cleric, and she's got some long, stringy hair, and it's kind of old looking and gnarled, but that's what Jenny Greenteeth does. Yes, she does. Can I have some of your earwax?
Oh, ew.
I think I need that as a casting reagent, or just to eat later. I'm not really sure, Jenny Greenteeth isn't.
Ew. I love it. Matthew.
So as the name implies, thanks to my party, it's basically you're looking at a middle-aged Fabio, the long, flowing, dirty blonde, darkish hair, slightly crooked scar on the nose from, a strange accident we won't discuss.
Nice.
I'm wearing very just sort of simple, leather almost vest style armor.
Mm-hmm.
And again, as Victoria had mentioned, this large oversized club that seems to be glowing, that as you look at it, it's shaped almost like a ship's oar.
Oh, very
At the
cool.
end of it.
Alrighty, next up, Alex.
Okay, so Mika Sarick is a wood elf. And she's got brown skin that sort of shimmers green in some places, and really long, straight black hair. Just wearing simple, green and brown clothes with some leather armor. And she has a shield and a scimitar.
Nice. And then next is Michael.
Sarvin, king of the frozen far. A dragonborn with white, rich scales, and if you get too close to my breath, you might catch a hint of, cool mint Listerine or something of that nature. Have I ever told you about that time that I climbed the highest peak in the Icewind Dale with one hand tied behind my back and 2 sprained ankles?
Very badass. And then, Matt.
I'm a gooey crash dummy. Thank you.
Yeah, that is
Yeah,
what you are.
I'm sorry, all I can picture is Buster from the Mythbusters with little bits of
Yeah.
jelly squirting out of the joints.
Yeah.
Wow. Alrighty, yeah. So you all kind of come to consciousness with these familiar strangers, and as you're kind of taking in the space, you see from one of the shelves up on high, a little origami paper crane kind of flutters down and lands in front of you. You can see it's made out of a aged yellow parchment, and it's very small. One of its wings looks to be a little bit crumpled, and there are some ink splotches all over its little origami body. And it flutters down in front of you, and it kind of jumps a couple times like a bird would. It says, oh, it worked! Hi! You're here! I didn't think that was gonna work!
Is that paper talking?
I believe it. Should we eat it?
Don't
Okay,
let,
never mind.
don't let the gooey one touch it.
Yeah, that's
Don't-
true.
Probably a good idea.
I just love seeing Matt. His intelligence 8 blob. Yeah, so the crane kind of flitters up in the air and does like a little loop in the air. Actually, I'm kind of small. This is probably weird. Hold on. And it begins to unfold, and it seems like there's more paper folded into this tiny bird than what would be normal for an origami crane of that size. And as it unfolds, it turns into what looks sort of like a little person, but made entirely out of paper. And instead of having eyes, a nose, a mouth, you can see it actually has ink splotches where all of its parts are, and the ink is actually moving and living across the surface, so when it blinks, it's just the ink turning into lines as opposed to little circles, and the mouth can move, but it's entirely two-dimensional on the surface. And this little being stands maybe only 3 feet tall, and they look up at you. You can see they have little shredded wisps of paper as hair kind of sticking up all across their head, and they wave. Hi, I'm so glad that you're here. My name's Paige. Yeah, you're here. I'm Paige. Okay. Sorry, I got really excited because I did not think that was going to work. Basically, this whole place, and they kind of gesture around at this endless room filled with books and tomes and pieces of paper. This is where stories are made. And this is where they all go when they're finished. But we're kind of having a little bit of a problem right now. My boss, don't tell them that I brought you here, is having a little bit of writer's block, I think. And like lately, to be honest, the stories that they've been helping to create kind of suck. And I thought, well, see, all of you, the real you're all really, really great storytellers. So I wanted to bring you here. But if you came here, you'd probably it just wouldn't be good because you'd just be regular people and you couldn't do any cool stuff. So I had this really great idea. You can thank me for it later. I took characters that all of you created and I put you in them. Yeah.
I don't have fingers.
I mean, listen, I wanted to pick the characters that were really memorable or that the people that you've told stories with really liked. So sometimes that means not having fingers or having scales or being a hag that likes to eat body parts. Woo! That's just how it is. But listen, this is going to be okay. Even if you don't have fingers, I think you'll find that this form, they kind of gesture to your crashed dummy body, will probably be way more helpful with helping me clear out the writer's block. I'm not strong enough to do it because I'm not a very good storyteller yet, but you all are really, really good storytellers. So, can you help me?
Sure.
We can try.
Point me in the direction of the block, and I'll pluck it out
Oh, yeah. I bet you're going to be really good at that.
Is there anything round on the ground? Anything that's not
Round-
blocked and book-shaped.
whole room has been filled with oranges, just loose oranges the whole time. We didn't notice right now.
The room
Really
is
weird.
actually gorgeous. No, you can see there's like off on the side you can see there's like a little spilled bottle of ink that is round-ish. It has a flat bottom, but it's rounded. And it's kind of like fallen over and there's ink spilled out and dried along the floor.
I'm gonna just walk over, pick it up, and hold it down to her. Not a block.
Yeah? See? Very clever. This is why I brought you all here. I knew I was right. That could have really killed all of you, though, so that was really good that worked.
Right.
Wait, we could have died?
Well, yeah, I mean, I took your souls out of your human bodies, and then I took the bodies of characters that exist in your stories, took their souls out. They're kind of just waiting. And I combined them.
Damn it, Molfin is haunting my everyday.
It's fine, don't worry. Time's not really passing where your bodies are, and, well, your stories happen kind of on schedules anyway, so they'll probably be fine.
Are you doing the Macarena?
I was trying to find where my soul is.
Ah,
It's in the blob.
in the blob.
Yeah, there's like there's like a little twig in the blob. I think it's behind that twig.
And like one of the arms goes like limp, and then the rest of the body is like. I'm reaching around in here. I don't know. Okay, whatever. I guess let's just
Unsettling
go.
when you do that. Not gonna lie.
Well,
Sorry.
so it seems like you're willing to help. It shouldn't be too hard. Okay, I'm not very strong. Like I said, I'm not very good at telling stories yet, but I'm actually also a map. So I can try to help you get to the boss. I think if you are able to destroy a couple of the blocks along the way, they're all kind of different. But maybe if you destroy like 2, I think that'll help get everything flowing. Okay.
Hurt.
Just gonna walk over and pick it up and start like rotating this creature upside down, looking for the map on it.
That tickles! Wait! And you watch as their limbs kind of fold in, and all of the different human-like parts fold in, and all of a sudden you have a square piece of parchment that doesn't look like it could have ever been a little person. Gently floats down to the ground from where Fabio yeeted it. And you see a little face in the corner, like inside of the little compass rose.
Cool.
It says, okay, this is it. Sorry, I can't really actually change any of the writing on here, because this is actually the train of thought that my boss has, and so it's really messed up right now. You're gonna have to figure it out and decipher it. You'll yeah. I'll let you look.
Do we need tickets? Do we need tickets?
For the train?
Yeah.
I think it's a metaphor.
I hope not.
Did any of you remember what a metaphor is?
I don't think I
Well-
know metaphors anymore.
Yes, but
Oh. Boy.
I feel like in my usual body, I love puns more than anything. And that kind of crossed over into this one. But I also feel like this body has an excellent memory for maps.
There you go. Maybe you could help
Yeah.
us with that.
Oh
You're
yeah,
all still
I think we all
new.
love puns. There's something about puns. I don't know.
Do we
Yeah, I
all
noticed
look
that when I was watching your stories.
We're all
My
terrible
soul,
at jokes.
because it hurts now.
Ah,
I found it. I found it.
Yeah, I think there's a little bit of goo dripping out of that seam there. It's kind of started right after you made that train pun.
Yeah.
I'll take it. Do you need some help with your goo?
It might taste better than the earwax.
No, earwax is delightful. Does anyone have extra toenail clippings?
Oh,
Not with
Alright.
them. All right.
So the map.
I don't have
toenails.
the map kind of, you see, like, it's almost like a very light breeze kind of pushes it, and it kind of hops towards you a little bit, Sarvin. It's kind of hard to walk like this, but I'm trying my best. You can pick me up.
Would you? Oh, sure. Sarvin picks up the paper, hoping not to rip through it with his claws.
It's okay. This is pretty sturdy parchment. So, as you're looking at the map, it looks like it could have been a sort of storyboard or one of those thought maps where you write things and you circle and you do squares with lines, but most of it is a mess of ink splotches, scribbles. Parts of the parchment are completely crumpled or like kind of almost look like they were ripped away. The parchment is still square, but you can see on the surface it looks like pieces were ripped off of it. So you kind of have that raw, like, fuzziness on it. And from where you are, you can kind of see like a little hallway that kind of resembles the one that you're in now. And it says the beginning underneath it. It connects to 3 different little thought bubbles. So,
Okay.
the first thought bubble that it connects to, you see that it kind of looks like a long, like, rectangle, and inside it says stories, like snakes, stories, snakes, snorri, steaks. And then there's a bunch of scribbles and a little doodle of a snake. And then the next path just has a little note next to it that says, "Which one? Too many!" And like an angry face. And the room it's like looks more square with little books on the shelves. And then the last room kind of looks like the drawing of it looks like a little writer's office. And next to it there's a note that says, "Deadline! Arrgh!" With a kind of an exasperated face. And there are different lines and threads that connect off of those to other thought bubbles, but a lot of them are scribbled out. And you notice that each of those 3, the only line that clearly connects after them goes to a big kind of trapezoidal, like an inverted trapezoid that's bigger on the top and then it gets smaller on the bottom. They all 3 connect to that, and it says next to it, "Terrible. All terrible." And there's little, like, round squiggly ink, like, balls, like, all around the little trapezoid.
Your boss seems very frustrated.
Yeah, that's kind of, like, it's getting a little worrisome, and to be honest, if you don't help, or if, you all fail, then the stories that you like to tell with all of your friends, they might stop existing? Oops.
Yes. Oops. Is it Micah or Mika?
Mika.
Mika. Mika, you said you would be good at guiding us along. What do you think of these 3 paths options? It seems one has to do with snakes.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
One has to do with too many things. And one is just like, well, just, I don't know, perceive it yourself.
You can flip a coin.
I'm still trying to wrap my head around that this sheet of paper is talking to us.
Also true.
Yes. It is strange. Well, if it's snakes, I can speak to animals, so I could maybe try to convince them to just, stop being mean or something. But I really don't know.
I could
Yeah.
eat snakes.
I can eat snakes. I can cook them into stew.
Globberbob, what do you think?
I think we should flip a coin.
Wait,
Well, a coin only has two sides and there's three.
What?
three options, two-sided coin.
I don't understand.
Oh, perhaps snakes it is then.
You wanna go snakes?
Yeah,
Snakes.
Perhaps Mika attempts to speak if we run into any snakes, and
We eat them all.
if the speaking does not work, then have at it. Bon appetit. Right?
And Fabio will eat
Sure.
snakes.
I can't wait to tell everyone that a piece of paper talked to me.
All right. I can get you there, but it's gonna be a little tiring, and I'm gonna need a break after. So whenever you're done and you're ready to move on after that, let me know. But after this, I'm probably gonna take a little nap.
Okay.
Ready?
Yes.
You're
Hold
tired.
on. This is gonna feel weird.
You're tired?
Yeah. It's very hard to keep changing all of these magical forms and summoning you all
Fair
here in
enough.
different
Fair
forms.
enough.
I can't. This just keeps getting better. I can't wait to tell people the time the tired piece of paper was talking to me.
All right, here we go. And you all watch as this kind of long, endless hallway, almost like a library hallway that you're in, you watch as one wall flips over onto the other, and all of a sudden this three-dimensional room that you're in is two-dimensional, and you watch as images flash by you, but they're not moving. It's just flashes of them, like when you take those little animation like booklets and you flip them, and the pictures in move as you flip them fast. It's sort of that sort of perception. And you all see flashes of characters that you've all seen in great movies, characters that you're familiar with from your own stories, beings that don't look like anything you've seen at all. And then suddenly it slows down and stops, and like pages naturally unfolding on a book that has been pushed open, the scenery around you opens back up to 3 dimensions, and you see yourselves in a very long hallway, more narrow than the one you were in before. This one is only about 15 feet long, and it seems to go down maybe 50 or 60 feet. And you can see that the floor ahead of you is actually just stacks of books and papers. And along the walls, you can see they're actually like in places, the books, like the spines are incredibly thick and have different images on them, and there are little animals carved into the shelves, and where the like vertical beams on these bookshelves meet, the wood is actually carved to look like winding snakes, and the heads kind of like come out and look down over this very cluttered hallway before you. And that is what you see when you first enter.
I will go up to one of the snakes. Carvings. You want to talk to this,
Okay.
Mika? Oh.
Oh no, I was saying, okay, like, yeah. Go ahead.
If it's a carving, I don't think I can talk to it.
You
Problematic
probably
then.
can.
You,
I mean,
you
I don't
probably...
think it'll talk back.
Oh, you can talk too. That's
Well,
true.
yes, but I mean,
Very, very
I
true.
don't think it can understand me.
You said the floors all looks like it. Does it look like it's covered in books, or does it look like it's like basically one of those foam pits that's just like filled with books that we're walking on?
like that, like a foam pit of books and papers and scrolls.
I was just gonna take out the club and using it sort of like a cane, just sort of like poke down and start walking towards the like the wall across the room, just sort of tapping the ground a bit and see if he can find like a somewhat stable place to stand each step.
Okay, are you starting off on the left, middle, or right?
So
Because there's basically, think of, if this makes it a little easier, because think of it like a 5x5 like grid. So there's 3 5x5 squares. Think of the floor as if there were like a 5x5 square on the left, in the middle, and the right, which you don't see before you, but it might help you, the player, like imagine it.
yeah,
So are you going to the leftmost section, the middle one, or the right one?
I'll go right
To
up the middle.
poke. Okay, you go up the middle and you poke where the first like 5x5 square would be. The books seem pretty sturdy.
Let's get there and sort of sit. Getting used to
You step
walking
on
on the
them?
ground. Just
So you're stepping on the books?
yep.
I need you to roll me a dexterity saving throw.
There you go.
Alrighty then.
Kind of as Fabio was doing that, Sarvin walked up and kind of flicked one of the wooden, nonchalantly
Thanks.
flicked one of the wooden snakes. I'm not sure you'll be able to eat these, Fabio.
5?
That's a 5.
Okay.
It's a 3 on the die.
Alrighty. So, as you step on this kind of middle section, like going straight down the middle of the hallway, the books hold your weight, but you feel your foot sink in a little bit, and you look over, all of you kind of see the little snakes that kind of coil up the vertical beams of the bookshelves. Their heads all turn to where Fabio has stepped. Their eyes light up bright green, and you watch as small black blobs of some sort of liquid launch in his direction, and he tries to jump back out of the way, but his foot is caught underneath a pretty heavy book, and he takes 9 points of acid damage as ink sprays onto him. And you all watch as these wooden snakes begin to slowly move along the beams. They stay in their places, but it's almost like they've been awoken, and they're kind of watching this long hallway of like the book version of a foam pit. You hear occasional hissing and
I might have missed
a
it,
rattling
Victoria.
noise.
I might have missed it, Victoria. Did you say that the acid came out of the wooden snakes? Okay, gotcha.
Yep. And Fabio, as you're kind of looking at like where on your shoulder this acid has kind of bit in, you touch a little bit of it, and it looks like a very dark black ink, and it's actually stained your skin and your armor there.
Just gonna crawl back to where everyone else is.
Yeah, you
Just
can
stay
do
on the
that.
ground.
What did you find?
Ow. Pain.
Hey, you should be careful. There might be traps.
Yes.
How are you looking? Do you need any some lay on hands or whatever I do?
Just sort of looks over at you a little bit. Couldn't hurt.
Okay. Cure wounds level 1 coming at you for 6 points.
Hey.
There we go.
Mika, you are probably the wisest one here. The snakes are made out of wood, but you can see that they are writhing and moving around their posts like they were real snakes. I'm not even going to make you like roll for it. You're not entirely sure that they're not alive, but you're also not entirely sure that they're alive. There is some semblance of animation to them. Your speak with animal spell might work. You'd have to give it a try.
Nah.
Nah, okay.
Do you think we could destroy all the snakes to prevent them from shooting us with acid?
Or it's just a matter of finding the right path across the books.
Yes.
Who wants to go first?
No.
Fabio,
I
pull himself up on
I
the-
vote Fabio.
Globba Bob looks pretty,
Oh,
globby.
Fabio's just
doing?
gonna walk over to the right one and just again.
Globabob,
Okay.
aren't
Jab at it
you?
with the,
Are you made of acid?
I don't understand the question.
Hmm.
You can't break that down too much further, can we?
Mika, you can communicate with snakes. Can you communicate with Globabob?
I don't think so.
Perhaps
Fabio's
Globa.
just gonna step out on the right hand one this time.
Okay.
You're stepping out on the right-hand one?
Yep.
Roll
Testing it last
dexterity
time didn't
saving
help.
throw.
So.
Oh wait, do I have guidance or something like that? No. I have Bane. Oh
No, you
my
don't
god,
hear them.
Matthew.
That's
Well,
a
what-
6.
Okay.
One better.
Where
Yeah.
am I looking for this?
So you go to step out on the more right side of this pile of books, and your foot slips underneath a loose piece of paper and you fall down, and as your weight kind of crashes onto this, the pile of books is fairly sturdy. All of the snake heads turn to where you are, and their eyes glow green, and more little globs of ink splash you for another 9 points of acid damage.
You all hear just a string of what you assume is very foul language.
You should
Stop
probably
doing
stop
that.
doing that.
Yeah.
Slowly crawl my way back. Yep. Listening to you.
Okay, who
I don't-
feels
what are we-
nimble?
There's
What are we
gotta,
doing?
there's
I'll do
gotta-
a thing.
There must be a more intelligent way to do this.
I don't know it. Globba Bob, go on the left side.
Okay. Which one is left?
I will direct him left.
Thank you. I'll start going that way.
Do you have feet, or are you like a slug on the bottom?
No, I have feet. I have like
Okay.
I imagine him sort of like a combination of like a craft dummy and one of those like posable art wooden
Okay.
figures.
I thought I had
A
one of those
little
art
like
figures.
goo coming out of all the joints. But he does walk kind of like this. He's sort of like
Okay. Thought I had a posable art dummy only, but I don't.
Yes.
Nice.
Oh, Lord.
So good. I imagine like Jenny, like hands on hips behind you, kind of like when you do you're at a wedding and they start like the train song and everybody.
Yeah.
he's just like kind of a poorly puppeted marionette.
Yeah,
He, like, walks his way.
I'm gonna try to sniff you.
I assume
That's good.
I smell of lacquered wood and gelatinous cube, I suppose.
Gelatinous cube is one of my favorites.
So I'm walking down the left path. That's the plan here?
Yeah.
Man, I
So
do
you
that.
step on the first imaginary 5x5 section. Nothing happens. You feel the books give under you. You're actually do you think you're heavier than a normal person or lighter? Because the wood frame might be heavy, but the blob is probably pretty light.
Yeah.
I assume that I'm fairly
Average?
light.
Yeah.
Because
Okay.
like the wooden frame is hollow.
Okay. Yeah. So
And then I'm
I
just
mean,
like cube inside.
yeah. So there's not a whole lot of give to the books because you are fairly light, but you kind of feel them shift a little bit under your feet. But you're as a blob, pretty good at compensating for movement with your kind of
Sure.
liquidy-ish form, and you're able to step onto that first section with no problem.
Then I go. As trying to get a thumbs up. And then I go. And like a goopy little window comes out. I'm like, guys!
Keep it.
He did it!
It's back in.
He grew a thumb.
So I guess okay, so I need to draw this because I'm confused about our situation here. So are we like is this like a long hallway that is like three 5-foot squares wide?
Yeah, let me like draw a little
Like
something for you.
yeah, we're starting from here and like trying to go this way.
Yeah, and the left and the right are like our bookshelves, like they are flush, like going up. So there's
Right.
no other like platforms. It's basically this long hallway that is just like a mess of books and paper on the floor.
And so I'm currently standing. Is that going to be flipped on the camera?
Yep.
That's left for me. I'm currently standing
Yeah,
there.
Yeah.
you got
That's
it.
good.
All right, I mean, there's no way Globba Bob understands this, but like, ostensibly, like one of these next ones is like safe and one is a trap, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Victoria, is there any like looking at, you said there's bookshelves on the walls?
Yes.
I guess what I'm asking is kind of like just inspect those bookshelves to see if there's a way like maybe we could climb up on the wall and like shimmy across the bookshelf without actually touching the floor.
Yeah, why don't you make an investigation check?
Okay, will do. Oh. Oh, I rolled a natural 20 for a 20.
Nice. Yes, you kind of the first little section of books before the whole like mess of a floor starts ahead of you. You look at the books and you feel along them. You pull one of them out and you open it and you're actually watching as words start appearing on the page telling a story. You close that when you open another one, it's blank, but you hear in your mind people singing and chanting in various languages telling tales. You put that one back, you open another, and you actually see images moving as if you were watching a story unfold. It seems like these books are holding tales that are still being created. But as you kind of run your fingers along the bookshelves, you notice that there's a couple loose pieces of paper that would have seemed innocuous, totally boring otherwise, but with your keen investigative eye in this moment, it seems like if you touch these pieces of paper that are kind of pressing out from between the spines of the books, it might be sharp. And you might cut your hand. So it does seem like it's possible to climb the shelves, but it seems like it would be difficult because you'd have to watch where you're placing your hands. And some of the books are top to bottom, barely fit in the shelves, would be very hard to grab. Other ones are like different heights, so you could get like a good handhold. And when the books are in the shelves, they're very snug. You have to give a solid pull to like get any of the books out.
Sarvin kind of looking at these, like trying to understand like the stories and stuff that he's getting from these books. I wonder if there are clues on the floor, like a story that we're supposed to follow, that will lead us down the hall. I don't have any clue where to look. I'm just stating that.
Okay, and then I take a 5-foot step directly forward and like reach down to pull a book out of the floor. So I'll move into that next 5-foot square directly in front of me.
Yeah, you take a step forward, and you pull a book up.
Okay.
As Sarvin says this, I would think Jenny and Mika, you guys probably have the highest passive wisdoms. Why don't you both make me general wisdom checks?
Okay, general wisdom checks. 20. Not bad.
Oh, that's a great roll.
18.
8.
Okay. Mika, you're kind of thinking about climbing. You're wondering like, maybe I can like turn into something and just kind of like yeet myself across, but like that wouldn't really help everyone else. And you're kind of keeping an eye out for like some kind of off switch, but the whole way down is like 50 to 60 feet. It's a little bit hard to see in this like low lighting. Jenny, you're like, snakes. And you think about how the map said stuff about snakes and stories, and you're like, these snakes are kind of wiggly. And you kind of like look up while you're thinking about eating a nice snake dinner, and you actually see on the ceiling there is a grid that reflects directly over where the books are, and you see a carving of a snake in the ceiling that kind of curves in an S shape.
We should probably more, but there's a carving on the ceiling of an S snake that probably corresponds with the floor below. You know how we ask our players to do general perception checks every time they enter a room? Maybe we should do that.
Oh.
Globabob, I feel like it's going to be very difficult for us to walk on the ceiling, don't you think?
Why don't we walk on the floor, and I will look at the ceiling and tell you where to go.
Oh,
Okay.
Right.
That's good. That's a good plan, because I picked this book up, but I cannot read, so...
Yeah,
Alright,
it's like it literally. It looks like it's in a language that you don't really remember all of the Earth languages, but like the shapes, you're like, okay, like I think I know what like an E is. And these are some weird looking shapes. You're like, I've never seen anything like this. I don't know what that letter is. It's kind of cool to see how they
Hard adventure. All right.
Okay, well, so I'm now on square 2 on the left side, and I like...
Yes.
Okay.
I'm like, okay, what do you want me to do?
Jenny, did you say you
I'll
were
look
going to
at my-
lead?
I guess I can lead or just prod the glob to see where to make sure he goes in front, because I think
Yeah!
Sorry, real
yeah,
quick,
let's do that.
Did Victoria just dissolve on anybody else's screen?
No.
No,
What?
she's here.
Literally, in Discord, I just
Oh,
watched
yeah, here
her
she goes. Nope, there she goes.
literally
She
started from the
disappeared.
top
Hey,
of
she's
her
back.
head.
I know.
Smoke to the left, and it just went.
I just turned my camera off and on again, but sometimes like my video will like it gets like a little, it does pixelate a little. So if
That's
I have,
pretty cool, though.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's literally, it's
I'm-
like, oh yeah, you can. And then all of a sudden, it's like, whoosh, it's like,
Oh no, Thanos got her right in the middle of our session.
That's it.
Terrible.
oh no.
So
Alright,
can I actively look at the ceiling and prod Globabob in the right direction?
You sure can. Let's see. Make me either a perception check or an investigation check, whichever you want.
Perception it is. Not bad. 17 total.
That's enough. So looking at where, like how the snake is positioned, you can see it looks like you're standing at like the bottom of an S.
Mm-hmm.
And so the little tip of its tail is kind of like would correspond to the left, and it begins to curve to the right and then back to the left and to the right again. So it
Okay.
seems like if Globabob steps one block to the right, he
Okay.
should be okay.
Okay. I'll prod him in that. Globabob, just turn right and go. You know what? And I just like kind of try to push him in that next space.
I go like,
Good job. And then I'll try to adjust him and push him. Everyone, conga line after me. Be careful, cause my hips don't lie. Come on, let's just go.
Okay, so for this, you know the path that you need to take because Jenny's 2 checks for general wisdom and perception were high enough. But I want you all to make, if you are proficient in acrobatics, you can make an acrobatics check. Otherwise, like it would just be a general dexterity check.
Okay.
So basically like acrobatics to see if you can do it.
13.
Okay.
Mm,
18.
Okay.
I'm gonna live this time, bitches. That's a 19.
Nice.
Okay.
Sarvin's rolling a hot
Thank you,
10.
Dragonborn.
Okay.
24.
24?
Nice.
Yes, thank you.
Jeez Louise. Alrighty. So you all make your way along this path, and anyone who rolled above a 15, which I believe the only ones who rolled below were Jenny and Sarvin.
Yeah.
But Fabio, Mika, and Globabob are pretty good. Globabob, it takes you a second to like listen to Jenny and process like, okay, right, nope, right, and you
Other
it takes you a
Like
second.
this every time she tells me left and right to try and do this, and then I realize I don't have fingers. And I'm
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
Yeah, so it takes you a second, but once you figure out and you get prodded on which way to go, it's super easy for you to step through, and you actually make your way from where you're at. You go diagonal 1 block to the right, you go forward 1, you go diagonal left 1, diagonal left again, forward 2 more, diagonal to the right, directly to the right, and then forward 1 more, and you find yourself on a stone floor off of a pile of books, and you're okay. Mika and Fabio, not quite as bouncy as Globabob, but you managed to see the path that he goes. Mika, you're pretty smart, and you kind of watch this path, and you're looking at like the snake, and you understand like the natural contours that a snake's body would go. Super easy for you. Fabio, you're kind of feeling like a little like a little. You're feeling the Fabio energy, and you manage to kind of prance along the S and get to the other side, your hair gently blowing.
Love it.
There's no wind that blows because you're Fabio. And you make it to the other side. Jenny and Sarvin, you're a little unsteady on these books. You're trying to step on the same ones as your friends, and these books can take weight, but you kind of slip a little on some loose pieces of paper and some of the more uneven stacks. And as you're making your way across, you both unfortunately do get shot by the ink snakes. So Sarvin, you take 4, 5, 6. You take 8 points of acid damage, Sarvin.
Ouch!
And Jenny Green. Oh, Jenny, I'm sorry.
That's
8,
okay.
9, 10, 12 points of acid damage to Jenny.
Okay.
Sorry.
That's okay.
I was
Jenny
just
has
thinking about
fine.
how cool it was going to be to talk about how I one time followed a train led by a sentient gelatinous cube through a hallway of books. But now,
Snake
now that,
books.
it's a bad memory now. It burns.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you all have made it to the end, and ahead of you, now that you're actually over on the other side, it looks like you're staring, like almost as if a book was partially opened and you're looking down into the spine. This hallway goes from being 3-dimensional, it kind of distorts your perception, and all of a sudden it's 2-dimensional and it's just paper. Alrighty, so you all have made it across the terrible, like, book pile hallway. And you find yourself sort of at a dead end where you're kind of just looking into the spine of a giant book.
Fabio's going to go rutting around a little bit in a small fur pouch he keeps on his hip. Pull out a vial of liquid and just chug.
Drinking a potion.
Yep.
The book hallway is behind us, right?
Yes.
Okay. I'm gonna grab a book out of the floor of the book hallway. And I just would like to open it up, and Globabob just like rips 2 pages out of a random floor book, and then throws the floor book back on the floor.
Don't rip book pages out.
Globabob, what are you doing?
I'm like folding up the pages, and then with my like goopiness, I just go,
Yeah.
"All right, guys, let's get serious."
Did you just put your serious eyebrows on, Globabob?
Yes.
Wow.
Oh,
I want to.
all right.
Fabio's going to look over at Sarvin and just sort of go, those are attack
Wait.
eyebrows.
Now I'm perplexed.
Wow.
Take those out, I'll save these for when we need them.
Sarvin, you feel a little movement, like rustling in the pocket where you had put the map.
Oh, right! The map! Reach in and get out the talking piece of paper.
Yeah, so as you kind of hold the map, it unrolls in your hands back to a map, and you hear Paige once again, whoa! Y'all figured that out pretty fast. That was really cool.
Okay,
It's-
Paige,
see, the thing
Paige, calm down.
Yeah.
Calm down, Paige.
Yeah.
Paige.
Yeah.
So, this map, okay, we followed the
Uh-huh.
snakes. Jenny led us through the
Yeah.
snakes. Well, Jenny pushed Globabob and all of us through the snakes.
Yeah.
So, the map says it's supposed to lead to this other room, but there's no door.
Yeah, I'm gonna help you with that. You made it through this whole like crazy tangle of ideas that kind of just turned poisonous, and you did a really good job. And because you made it through, that actually helped to kind of untangle this icky, yucky, sticky mess of bad ideas. So you're a good portion of the way there.
Paige,
but
Paige,
next-
Paige, I do have a question.
Yeah.
Did you know that the snakes shot poison before we went into the room?
I mean, I thought something might happen because if you let your ideas get all tangled up, then sometimes it can feel, like poisonous. But I didn't know if it was actually going to happen. I had an idea.
Okay, I could see how a talking piece of paper could get confused.
Yeah.
Perhaps.
Do you have an idea of what's gonna happen in the next room? An idea?
The corner of the map where like the little compass rose is with the little face kind of flips up a little bit, and it kind of looks down at all the scribbles. Well, next it just says terrible.
That both
Oh.
for any of us.
Terrible. Yes.
There you
Sounds
go. It sounds fun.
Globabob, do you have feelings?
Question.
Yes.
Do you know what feeling terrible is like?
And I look at Fabio with his recently healed burn wounds. And I go,
Oh,
that?
okay, Mika, I think we've broken ground here with communication with Globabob. It is confirmed that he does have feelings.
I go, oh,
Indeed.
wait. And I go and I get another book out of the floor.
Oh,
And I go, yeah. I know what's in the next room.
Oh boy. I don't think
Wait.
Wait.
Terrible.
Wow.
Oh my god, terrible. Oh my god.
This
is
will be easy. That was super easy. I did it 3 times just there.
I think he's learning.
no.
And you said the wall in front of us looks like a giant book?
Yeah, it's like you're looking into like you're looking into the spine of a book.
Does it look like there are pages on it?
Yeah, each side is pages.
Fabio's going to look over at Globabob and sort of go like this. Over and gesture at the wall that looks like a page of the book.
I go, yeah, and I put an arm up for a high five.
You
I'll
ready?
go over and see if we can grab out and try to rip it.
Yeah, right. So I try to pull the book out of the wall.
Yeah, so you kind of grab the corner of the page, which it's It's higher up above you. This giant book is taller than any of you, and the map in Sarvin's hands kind of wriggles a little, and you watch as like a string of twisting words and lines of ink kind of shoots out from the map and gives Globabob a little zap. And for a moment, you feel energized enough to tear out the page. And as you do, the page continues to tear beyond, and the floor beneath you tears, and the ceiling above you tears, and you all fall into blackness.
Oh
And you're
no!
falling,
What has Globabob done?
I think I broke the one.
and
Fabio's just gonna go belly flop so I can feel the hair blowing, the wind blowing his hair back.
I think we all look over at Fabio, and he's like completely sideways like this, just like.
Yes.
The hair flowing in the breeze as we fall to our deaths.
Yes.
There's some
Yes, please.
strange
Wow.
divine chord playing like.
That's actually just me singing.
Oh, that's it. That's it. Yes.
so as you're all falling,
Cubs.
you start to notice around you there are like round clumps falling with you. And you kind of bounce off of them and hear little crumpling noises, and you realize
Oh,
you're bouncing against
God!
crumpled pieces of paper.
Globabob, you're falling apart. Put yourself together.
Are you like one of those waving air things at the
Lucky way to warm clothes,
yeah,
man.
yes,
It's probably
okay.
more like one of those little toys where you like push the little button on the bottom, and they go like. It's like that, I think.
Or if you've ever played a physics game where you just sort of drop a body.
Yeah.
Victoria, is Paige still in my hand?
Mm-hmm.
Paige, is this just pieces of the paper that Globabob tore? What is this?
Oh, sorry. This is really fun. I think these are all the bad ideas that are getting thrown out. Look down.
Look down.
Down.
Okay. Sergeant looks down.
Look down, and you see what looks like a little pale pinprick in darkness. It begins to grow and grow and grow and grow. And you realize you're looking into a sort of circular shape that is filled with these crumpled up giant balls of paper. And all of a sudden, you all just fall into them. And you don't actually take any damage because it's actually quite padded, because you realize you are in almost like a giant waste bin. It's a little bit hard to pull yourselves out, but you're kind of there lounging against all of these giant crumpled pieces of paper.
Hey, so we're in what millennials like to call like where they belong. The trash.
This
Yeah,
isn't
is
the first time I've ended up in here.
Oh, wow.
You ended up in a giant trash can before? That seems very specific.
I've got many stories.
Wow.
That kind of tired me out. I'm gonna rest again, but let me know when you're all done doing whatever you gotta do here.
Should
And the
we
map kind of-
rest? Okay.
The map kind of rolls up in your hand and then jumps into your pocket, Sarvin.
It's kind of comfy. Should we rest here too?
Might be a
Do we
good
need it?
idea.
I kind of need it.
I'm still nursing
A
a little
little.
bit of acid burn here in my shoulder.
Yeah, me too. Just a little.
Okay, well, I mean, let's just hope it's not a trash compactor.
Ooh.
Can I perception check for a trash compactor?
Yeah, roll a perception check.
Okay. 15 plus 4, so 19.
Nice, yeah. As you're sitting here, it doesn't seem like any of the trash is getting like pulled down or like compressed. It's all just sitting there. And you kind of like look for a minute, and then you notice like a couple more like little balls of paper fall in every once in a while and kind of like settles off to the side. It's like really only like once every few minutes. It is like probably about 10 feet up to the rim of the trash can that you're in, and you can't really see what's above that. The walls just seem kind of wood. Beyond that, it's hard to tell, but you do hear paper rustling up there.
Maybe we should take our rest before we see what's rustling everything. Just a short one. I could use it.
Sounds good to me. How about the rest of you?
Fabio's just gonna look at his arms so it's scorch marks on it.
Okay, Fabio. Oh, okay. Good thumb. Good thumb there,
Yeah,
Fabio.
I'm getting real good at this.
Yeah.
I can keep watch. I'm
Okay.
pretty sure I don't need to sleep. I don't think that's a thing I do.
Wonderful.
I mean,
Here,
I
I'll
don't
put on
really
my-
need to rest
Put on my
either,
watch eyes.
so-
I can't remember. Rangers hit dice. Is it
Good
an
watch
8 or a
eyes.
10?
For what?
Rangers.
Are you
hit
in
dice?
D&D Beyond?
I am.
Click
yeah.
short rest.
Oh yeah, I could do that, right? Thanks.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh,
Alright,
you
I'm
just.
gonna-
Well, my
click-
eyebrows
oh,
fell
yeah,
off.
There we go.
Oh no.
Oh.
Alright, I'm gonna roll a couple hit dice. That's 3 plus.
Huh, that's weird.
Yeah, so everyone who wants it can take a short rest. For Mika, did you want to keep watch with Globabob? Or do anything specific?
I want to keep watch.
Okay, so either both of you can roll perception checks or one can roll with advantage.
I mean, I'm pretty good at perception. I'm not good at rolling, though. So,
How's my perception? Oh, I'm real good at perception. Why don't we just both roll one?
okay.
Nice.
Yeah, go for it. Do it.
Okay. 16.
Thanks.
12.
Okay. Globabob, you definitely hear the rustling and you notice that there's a bit of a rhythm to this kind of crinkling rustling sound, almost like steps. But Mika, you kind of like, as another ball of paper falls down, you kind of very carefully climb, kind of pull yourself up onto it, and you peek up. You're able to see a little bit more over the rim of the can, and you see something. It looks like it's made of paper that is moving. And it looks like a person, but it's around 10 to 12 feet tall. And you can see that it's actually like taking smaller pieces of paper and kind of crumpling them up. And it's kind of rummaging through books and pieces of paper up there. And it seems to be like making more trash and like tearing pages out of books. And it's like making like little balls of trash, kind of like the ones that are like falling around you. And as you're actually like halfway through your rest, you all see, after Mika points this out to you, a ball of trash actually, shook, instead of falling from above, it falls off from the side. And it seems like this entity pushed a piece of paper, like a piece of trash, into the can with you.
Huh.
I like turn from what I've been fussing with my eyebrows for the last like 40 minutes. And I'm like, what do you see?
Big paper person.
Oh,
like the one that
No.
just jumped into my pocket.
Yeah, but like 10 feet tall.
oh. Hey, are we in a toilet, you guys? Because
No.
if it's a big paper person, and this is like,
No.
Oh.
They
Whoa.
were just ripping pages out of books and making them into. They didn't wipe
oh,
anything.
oh, good. Okay, let me put my relieved eyebrows on.
Aren't those sad eyebrows?
What?
They look like sad eyebrows.
They do kind of look sad.
That's just a monobrow.
Look, I'm not working with a comprehensive understanding of facial expressions here. I'm doing my best.
That works.
He now has the elven monobrow. So, do we need out?
I hope we don't have to fight the big paper person.
What?
But do we need to get out?
Did you say it threw a piece of paper
Well,
in here with
probably.
us?
Yes.
Sarvin will walk over to wherever Mika points to whatever piece of paper this thing threw in, and I'd just like to inspect it or unfold it and see what was on it.
Yeah. So you go over, and this is like, it's a smaller trash ball than the ones that are falling. And you see like there's a bunch of different strips of paper that are just basically illegible, and different pages from like books and stories. But as you're reading these stories, like there's like little bits that are scribbled out, or the plot on the page just like doesn't make sense. The dialogue between the characters is stale and it's just not good. The descriptions of the locations are lacking. And you look through more and more of these pages, and you're kind of getting why these pieces of paper were all crumpled up and discarded. Parts of the ideas are good, but there's different things that are lacking, and it seems like whoever wrote these is having a hard time crafting their ideas in a way that is engaging and just good storytelling. There's something lacking here.
Oh, nothing but bad ideas, guys. Throws a bunch of paper over his shoulder.
Fabio's gonna walk over to make his way over to the side of the can and just sort of go, what's the can made out of?
It seems like you're in a very like sturdy wood, and then it's like reinforced with like pieces of metal that like, so the rim of it is like metal, and then there's like slats of wood, and then there's like two like metal stands that go down like on each side, and then like as you kind of like look down, you can see that there might be like another stability ring in the middle like of the can.
For the most part, it's wood on the side?
Yeah, it's like a very hard, dark wood that's like very smooth and shiny.
What do you think,
I'm
Father?
going to start reaching around into his pouch and pull out some climbing mittens.
As he's doing that, you said there's like if I were to like start rummaging through these, there's like scraps of like words and sentences and letters and stuff like that on these, right?
Yeah, and actually, if you go and like unroll some of the other pieces of paper, some of them are massive, and some of them are the smaller size. Some of them you unroll and they are like written words. Others are drawings that just seem kind of wonky for like the characters or areas that were put on paper. Other ones you unroll and you hear someone trying to tell a story, but they stutter or they cough, or you hear booing in the background.
Like ripping pieces from several different like ones together, and then like oozing them up a little bit to like gloop them together into like one thing. And I go, guys, I remember the only word I know. It's the one that the players in the game that this character is from taught me.
Well, that's a word.
Very good.
Very good, Globbabob. I'm very impressed.
I don't know what it means. I just know this is what it looks like.
You know,
Yes.
not many can pull off block letters so quickly, such as
Do you,
that.
do you think the giant guy would like this? Maybe he likes this better than the ones he keeps throwing out.
You should definitely take that with you.
Okay, I'll keep this and we'll give it to him when we see him. I don't know where to put it now.
We will give the boss butts.
I'll just hold it for now.
Just holding the butts.
Yes, hold on to the butts.
Hold on to your butts.
until we get to the
Hold on
boss.
Yeah, I'm holding on to my butts. Okay, I got it. I wasted a piece of poster board for this joke.
That is not a waste.
That is not a wasted piece of poster board.
Oh,
Going from the side of the tin, all everybody can hear is every couple of seconds.
Hey, Fabio,
I'm just taking something.
Fabio, I've got this. And Sarvin pulls out a 50-foot rope with a grappling hook attached to the end of it. Could this help? I mean, it might save you some time. I'm just saying.
Can't hurt.
But first, let me try something. Paige, are you awake? I, like, reach into my pocket.
What? Dogs? Where?
Dogs?
Yeah,
No.
I just
Well, at least you didn't say butts. That's okay. Yes, very good, Globba Bob. Paige, question. Do you see that up there? Can you see farther than you see? There's another paper person like yourself up there.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know that paper person?
See the face kind of like blinks some of the sleep out of its eyes in this little compass rose. Oh, I don't know if he has like a name, but he basically normally sorts through some of the ideas that are like maybe less than good, and he takes away the pieces that are bad and he throws them out here. But it kind of looks like he's just tearing everything up and throwing all of it away. And all of the ideas that are coming down, I mean, those are coming from the boss. And this is a lot of trash. A lot of bad ideas. Normally he doesn't throw away this much stuff, that guy up there. This is a lot of trash.
Mika, Jenny, do you have any ideas on what that paper person is up to?
Do we know that he's editing?
Yeah, I'd say you guys are like wise enough. It kind of from what you saw, Mika, like all of the paper that is up there that he has access to, like he's not really discriminating. It seems like he's just got a big pile of paper and books, and everything is just getting torn out, crumpled into a ball, thrown in the bin, goes over to the next pile, does the same thing. But it seems like these piles, like they'll shrink, but you blink, and then the pile of trash that he had just cleared is back again. And it just seems like all of these things that he's tearing up are just materializing.
seems like it's broken somehow.
Well, perhaps we should get up there and fix it. And then Sarvin's
I
going to
agree.
start.
I agree.
Sarvin's going to start spinning the grappling hook and then try to throw it up to like hook the top of the trash can.
I'm gonna stand strategically so it doesn't land on me.
You know,
Fabio is probably not standing strategically and is right on the side of the things. Don't bang at his.
Yeah. So let's see. I feel like Sarvin's like skilled with a grappling hook. I don't think you need to roll any kind of check for that. That would be goofy. You're able to chink it into the side of the the little can there, and it doesn't seem like this creature has noticed it. And between the rope that you have dangling and the climbing, is it pythons or pitons? I don't know. The thingies, the little doodads.
I think either or is fine.
Yeah, those thingies are hammered into the side. It should be very, very easy for you guys to pull and use those as like little footholds to climb up. It's about 10 or 15 feet up to the rim. You watch as this paper entity kind of shuffles past where the grappling hook is and goes about 90 degrees across like from the circle. So if like your little grappling hook is at 12, he's kind of over at like 3 o'clock.
Okay.
Just tearing through paper.
Who's going first?
I mean,
Well,
who? Any volunteers? I mean, I'll go, but
Strong, I might need some help on the way up.
Well, what are we doing? I'm confused.
I think
Going up
Globabob
the
should go
rope.
first.
Yeah, me too.
Okay, I'll give him my sign.
Oh, you colored it in Globabob. Oh, wow.
Yeah, I
Good job.
don't know where I got a marker, but I did that.
Yeah, where
He starts
where
looking,
did you find it in the
"Where
trash
did my
bin?
charcoal go?"
Yes.
Globabob's hands, like one of the little like wooden inky hands, you can see that there's like some black ink that is slowly like trailing up into the gelatinous cube bit. It seems like he maybe found some like undried ink and was able to smear the coloring into the butts.
Okay, I'll go give him this, but then if that doesn't work, if I remember correctly from the people in the game that I'm from, the only option at that point is to kill him.
What?
That- honestly,
I mean,
that's
just what they do whenever.
That seems accurate.
Yeah, because whenever Plan A doesn't work, Plan B is always just kill everyone.
Jenny Green Teeth is gonna stop you there for a second, she will. Why don't you help us all up before you present the butts to the gentleman?
Okay.
I like this plan.
Fabio, on a rare bit of intelligence, looks at his own hand, then looks at Globabob, then back at his own hand. Then it's gone.
Okay.
No, the thought he was having.
Oh.
Okay.
A bit of
Like,
drool, like
oh.
dribbles down the side.
Sarvin will kind of
Right,
like
let's
steady the bottom of the rope from his grappling hook, that if anyone wants to climb, and make it easier so it won't like move around on you.
What
Okay.
what's the height from where we're like from the this rim of this bin to where we're trying to get up to here?
About 10, 15 feet.
Oh, cool. I'm gonna use a key point, and Globobob just standing jumps straight up to the top.
Just yeets up.
Yeah, he
Nice.
just goes lands up on the top.
Yeah. You all watch as Globabob just kind of springily launches himself up and lands up at the rim of the can holding his butts.
Yes.
Mika,
Oh.
what are you doing?
I will.
Climb.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I'm not even gonna make you guys make checks between the rope and the little thingies that
Okay.
Fabio put in.
Thank
You
you.
guys can if everyone climbing up or is anyone staying behind?
Sarvin will go up last and basically just like when we're thinking about like him on the edge of like a large wastebasket, so to speak. Like what's the diameter of this?
Oh, it's pretty big.
But I can still see the
It's-
other guy moving along if I'm on top. Like we can still see him all the way around.
Yeah,
Okay. Sarvin
yeah,
will kinda
it's maybe like end to end 60 feet.
All right. Sarvin will kind of hang back near the rope, so where we climbed up, and just like keep an eye on what's going on when they approach.
Yeah, but you're up at the top or you're still in the bin?
I want to be on top, but at a distance.
Okay, yeah, so you can hang back and keep an eye. And then what are the rest of you doing?
We're waiting for like this thing to like come towards us with like a bit of trash to throw away. Is the plan here?
I don't know.
Do whatever
Okay,
you
well,
want.
Yeah, I just go like as it is coming towards us. I just go to like the front of the can to wherever it is. I just go.
Look friendly, Globabob. Look friendly.
Oh, I lost my eyebrows.
It's-
Oh
I
no!
can't.
Just to clarify, because my audio for you went a little bit robotic, are you leaving the group and going over to it, or are you waiting for it to come
Wherever,
over to
like,
you?
whatever, like, side of the can that it is going to approach whenever it, like, throws its trash away next, I will go so that I'm, like, if this is the lip of the can and it's coming, like, from over here, I would go, like, boop, 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 so that I'm, like, dead center in front of wherever it's approaching the can. And
Yeah, so you guys are at like the 12 o'clock position, and it was at 3, and it
That's
kind of walks over to like between 1 and 2, and it throws a blob of trash in, and then you are holding butts out to it.
yeah.
It kind of stops, and you can see it's actually, now that you're up close looking at it, because you're actually fairly perceptive for a blob, you can see this creature is actually made out of crumpled, twisted pieces of paper, its whole body, and it stands about 12 feet tall. And you can see within the crumples, some of them kind of flatten out, and little ink eyes, sort of like pages, appear on its face, and it kind of looks at the butts, and it grabs the butts. And it tries to take the butts from you.
It's trying to take the butts.
Do you give it the butts?
That's what I made it for. I made it. That's what I made it for.
So you pass the butts to the creature, and it kind of looks at it for a minute.
Jason in chat's like, not the butts.
And it looks at it for 1 minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, and then it begins to stomp the ground underneath it, which actually kind of has some force to it, and it just begins to shred the butts, and it tears up your butts, and it angrily throws it down into the bin.
But butts are always a good idea.
I put my surprised eyes on and I go, that's
So-
what I thought.
Remember that time
Mika,
Globobob
you
did
say that
something really
butts
nice and
are,
shredded the butts?
Yeah.
Mika, when you say that you thought like the butts were always a good idea, the creature's eyes actually turn towards you and look very angry, and it begins picking up all the loose pieces of paper around it and shredding them and just throwing like shreds of paper like everywhere. And you hear a very angry, like crackling, crumpling sound coming from in it, and it begins to kind of step towards you where you had said like that you thought it was a good idea.
Is my weapon
Yikes.
of is Sarvin's weapon of warning giving him any warning of danger right now?
So I would say it seems like there were certain behaviors taken by your party that have triggered it. It's defensive. It's
Okay.
about to turn offensive. I think your bow would be able to like communicate that kind of to you. It's not actively hostile yet, but it's getting very close.
Globobob, I think maybe you should take a few steps back away from the paper person.
How wide is the room of this thing that I'm sitting on? Like, do I
Do I
have that
flat
option?
part- yeah, so the flat part where like above the bin goes like 20 feet.
Oh,
So
okay.
there's space.
I go, okay, and I just start like backpedaling towards the rest of the group away from the thing.
It's marching towards the group of you. Sarvin, you're like a little ways away. Like if you were holding back, you're probably standing at like maybe like 10 o'clock, and the group is at 12,
Yeah.
and
yeah,
the creature
that
is
was-
approaching from like where 2 o'clock would be.
Right.
And
Victoria, am
it
I getting
marches
the
up.
idea? Would Sarvin be getting the idea that this is the hexagonal shaped room on the map, or is there more to it that we're just haven't explored or haven't found?
So looking at the map, this was the room that all three of like the legible like keys on the map led to, where it said like terrible ideas. And beyond this, all of the ink kind of like trailed off, and you weren't really sure what came after this, but a lot of the lines seemed to lead here. And the creature pounds up to all of you, and it kind of gets in Mika's face, and it lets out this very strange, crackly, like, roar in your face. And it's like, there are, as it roars, like, little pieces of, like, paper shreds are, like, blowing out of where its mouth would be, but it's just, like, an ink, like, a black hole. And it begins shredding a lot of paper in front of you, and, like, slamming on the ground.
I'm confused.
I think it's angry at us for the butts.
But it seems
Like-
angry like every writing.
I mean,
I'm
not
just like
not all.
I'm just
the-
like tapping a little paper around it with my like dummy hands, folding
Not-
it up a little.
Not everything in the trash was absolute garbage. I mean, some of it could have been salvaged.
Sarvin, you say that, and you watch as, like, pieces of paper, like, on its body begin to twist up and out and, like, form spikes along its back. And your bow is like, okay, now it's danger time.
It seems I've struck a nerve, everyone.
Fabio's going to
And-
reach down to his little pouch, and as you watch, is that massive great club that he had. His pouch looks to be about the size of a coin purse. He reaches in and just pulls the club out of a coin purse.
Nice.
Yeah, so I will say, because Sarvin has his bow of warning, if you all want to take, like, one brief action before rolling initiative, I will let you do that. If there's anything you want to do or get ready.
So Fabio is up right next to Mika and Jenny, right?
Yeah,
And this
you're
thing's
with the
right in
group.
our
Sarvin
face?
is a little ways behind.
I will cast. Can I cast a spiritual weapon and just have it next to me?
Yeah. What does your spiritual
Okay.
weapon look like?
Crap. It's gonna be a foot. A very ugly foot.
Very jagged, crusty toenails.
Yep.
Yes.
Give me a foot.
Sarvin's just going to use his action to knock an arrow.
Okay.
Get ready.
I will move up a little ways like ahead of the rest of the group, so that now
Mhm.
like Globba Bob is between this thing and the group.
Okay.
And that little piece of paper he's been folding, he's like, I just look up and I go, sorry about the butts. I made you this,
Aww.
and that will be my action is just to hold this. Globba Bob just steps out in front and holds this in front of the creature.
All right, so we've got holding a paper heart out / interposing yourself between the creature and the group for Globba Bob. Sarvin knocked an arrow.
And then Fabio is
And-
going to step in front of Mika and Jenny with
Okay.
the great club just sort of winding up.
Mm-hmm. Nice.
Old school
And Jenny
Babe Ruth
cast her
style.
spiritual. And then Mika, what would you? Is there anything you want to do to prepare before we roll initiative?
I will equip my shield.
Okay,
I'm protected.
you are shielded, and I'm gonna need all of you to roll initiative now.
Hey.
Oh, great.
6. Not good.
5.
Ooh.
Alrighty, I will take that.
19.
21.
Nice.
Hey, nice.
So
That'll be my
Fabio,
only good roll of the night.
21,
Okay.
and then Globba Bob 19,
Yes.
and then Mika was 5, and Jenny Greenteeth was 6. And then what did Sarvin get?
A 13.
Okay, so then Sarvin. Okay, so Fabio 21, Globobob 19, Sarvin 13, Jenny 6, Mika 5. That sounds right?
Sounds good.
Alrighty.
Yep.
So up first, Fabio, batter up. He's swanging.
This thing still looks PO'd.
Yeah, it has like spikes all over its body, and it looks like it's like getting ready to like swing at like the near, probably honestly at Globobob with his little heart thing because he's right there. But it seemed mad at like what Sarvin had said.
So yeah, stepping forward and attempting to swing through it.
Heck yeah, make an attack roll.
Doesn't surprise me that
Yeah,
Sarvin's
let's
mouth
see
would
here.
get everybody in trouble.
Okay, that's not bad. That 11 on the dice. That is a 18 to hit.
Yeah, that hits. Roll damage.
Okay, so I am going to drop a smite into this
Oh.
because I don't know what the hell this thing is or what it's going to take, but let me see. That's okay. Second here, so I can just make sure. Come on, just so we get. Okay, so that is 1d8 plus 1d8 per level of spell slot. That's 48 plus weapon damage.
Whew.
Okay, so I need another one.
That's about to be nasty.
Okay, so that's 15, 16, 17, 21, 23, 27 points of bludgeoning damage. Or,
Ooh.
sorry, let me rephrase. Because that was 11 points of force of bludgeoning damage, and then the difference in force.
Oh.
Okay.
Just in case that matters.
So the total is 27?
I just redo that again. 15, 20. Yes, 27.
Alrighty. So you got your just mean looking club and you're ready. Sarvin warned you, so you kind of had a little bit, you had enough time to take it out. You wind it up and you just let out a big swing, and it cracks right into this creature's torso. And you see, if it had breath, you would have knocked the wind out of it. It kind of, its chest, the paper crumples in, and it kind of like staggers back a little bit, and you hear it angrily growl with its weird crackly voice, and it seems like you heard it pretty bad. Is there anything else that you want to do?
I'm just sort of trying to like take a half a step away from Globobob, trying to like and just sort of wave the club a little. I just half taunting, half trying to, keep its eyes off of others.
Yeah. Alrighty. Next up is Globbob. Your friend Fabio just laid into the torso of this paper golem.
I'd like to hold my action.
Okay.
Because at this point, Globobob is just standing there holding his heart out. And until it does something that isn't like accept his love and friendship, he will continue to wait. So my held action trigger will be like if it takes aggressive action against Globobob or the party, I will then unleash my attacks. But until such a time, Globobob is just like.
Alrighty. Did you want to do anything with your bonus action at all?
Nope.
Okay. So Globbob is there waiting for this creature to accept his love, the consequences of which we do not yet know. Sarvin, you are next. You see Globbob is there with heart in hand, making himself vulnerable, in like emotionally and literally giving his heart to this creature. Fabio took a nice dent in its chest. It seems like you have like an opening now from your friends helping.
Globobob! Are you quick to forget it shredded your butts? And then, and then as a bonus action, Sarvin's going to cast Ensnaring Strike on himself, and then fire this arrow at the spiked paper menace in front of.
Okay.
So
do I need to roll any kind of save for that?
Let me. I have to make a regular attack roll first. See if I hit.
Okay. I forgot rangers are like. Yeah.
That's going to be a 16 to hit.
Yeah, that'll hit.
Okay, so the damage is it's only going to be four piercing damage.
Okay.
But the Ensnaring Strike, what it does is the target must succeed on a strength saving throw or be restrained by magical vines. And I can concentrate on it up to a minute.
Okay. So let me roll its save.
DC is a 13.
Ooh, I dropped one of them. Ooh. That is a 21 to save. I'm sorry.
Gosh.
This
Yes.
thing is very strong and
It shrugs it off easily, yes.
Yeah, so your thorns go to wrap around it, but they kind of, as the creature's moving its limbs, the thorns just tear through the paper, but it doesn't seem to hold it down. It kind of just lets the thorns tear through it and is just there raging. But your arrow itself did manage to pierce into it, and it looked like it hurt it. Is there anything else you would like to do?
Well, that didn't work. Get ready, Fabio! That's it.
Okay. Next up is the Gollum's turn. So, let's see. Globobob is right there, presenting this nice heart. And it is going to attack you, which will trigger your held action. So I would say you see it raises up its fists, and it's going to slam them down on you, so you have a moment where you can take your held action before it hits you.
Ooh. Okay. I was preparing for this. I was rolling so that I wouldn't take 9 hours to do this when it happened. So I've got my rolls ready.
Okay.
As the fist comes down, Globobob just goes, "Oh." And as it comes down, Globobob goes like, and wails a fist forward. I sort of imagine like anime style, like its fist comes down and I like punch its fist.
Mm-hmm.
Except like a huge, like a gelatinous cube blob fist comes out of the doll fist as I punch into it. Okay, here's my rolls that I made before. I didn't get as far as damage, but I have.
That's okay.
So my 2 attack rolls,
Yes.
with the monk whatever, is a 25.
Hits.
And a natural 20 for a 26.
Oh yeah, that definitely hits.
On the second attack, I am spending 2 key points to use one of my Globobob features to instill a bunch of acid into this attack.
Okay.
So the first attack, I'm just doing unarmed strikes. I'm not using any weapons. The first attack is gonna be 6. So the first attack does 8 points of bludgeoning damage.
Mm-hmm.
The second attack does 9 points of acid damage, followed by an additional 9 points of acid damage. And I think that's it.
Alrighty, so
Yeah.
you slam your fists into the giant papery fist of this creature, and the force of the punches themselves tear through the paper. But you notice as your acidic, blobby body hits the paper, ink begins to bloom like all over where the acid is like digging in, and the ink actually kind of swirls over the ripped and torn pieces of paper, and when it swirls back, the paper is unripped, and it seems like acid damage heals.
Oh no!
So I'm like
Entity.
this, as I have punched it, and then I turn back to the party, and I'm like,
I am sorry.
Globbobob, though,
This is one particular.
I'm glad that you did that, though, because I forgot that we're level 5, and I should have taken 2 shots. So next turn.
Oh,
Oh, you can take Michael. Take your second shot, Michael. Do it.
that's the only thing I do, so I'm gonna be really useless in this fight. Thanks, guys.
Maybe you should back up next turn.
My second shot would have been a dirty 20 for 9 points of piercing damage. I apologize.
Okay. No, that's okay. I'm sorry, Globbobob. This particular one is not great for you. Yeah. So, with that, the creature is going to slam down its fists onto Globbobob. Let's see. Does a 20 hit? Sorry, 22.
Oh.
It does.
Okay. And the second one is 23 to hit.
Oh yeah.
Okay. So, oh no. Actually, this wouldn't, I don't think it would do this ability to you. So you take, let me get the damage. 1, so that's 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. You take 12 bludgeoning damage from the first hit. And 9 bludgeoning damage from the second hit. But as it's going to hit you, you feel in its fists like almost like little like tendrils of the ink that is swirling across its body go to sink into you. And for anyone else, this would probably weaken them a little bit. But you are made out of like acid, so I don't think it would do anything to you because you can't do anything to it. You guys kind of balance out on that. So I'm not gonna have you roll anything else.
They're trying to punch each other, but they're healing each other back and forth.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and you watch as it kind of just gets like enraged, and the ink that's like running all across its crumpled body begins to like swirl around it a lot faster, and it seems like it's like getting really hyped up and very hasty. And with its movement, it is going to begin moving towards the group. So you do get an attack of opportunity if you would like to take it, because it's going to walk past you.
That's going to be a... it's a 19 plus stuff.
Yeah, that hits.
Okay. That'll be 8 points of bludgeoning.
Okay. You take a solid schwang with your dummy, as it walks by, and it hits it like in the back of the knee, and it staggers, but it's kind of like running past you and heading towards the group. And that is its turn. It's probably about 10 feet away from the... Oh, actually, Fabio would also get an attack of opportunity. Because you were also right on it.
Okay, that'll that's a 19 plus, so that's
that's
Nice.
gonna hit.
Let's see here. I don't think I can do that again yet, so let's see here. I just gotta pull up my okay, not bad. 10 points of bludgeoning damage.
Nice.
Yep, and it makes its way. It's pretty much on top of Mika and Jenny Greenteeth. It seems kind of intent on Sarvin, though, just because Sarvin's been, like, saying some good ideas, and it doesn't seem to like that. So
Okay.
next up is going to be Jenny.
I'm gonna run as far away from it as possible if I can. It's not on me yet, right?
It's about 5 feet away from you. 5 to,
I'm
10 feet.
gonna run 30 feet away,
Okay.
and then I'm going to leave my foot there,
Yeah.
move, and then use Ray of Enfeeblement on it,
Okay.
which
Nice.
is a. Why does it say? Oh, it's a con save.
Okay.
15. 15 yeah.
I rolled a 16. I'm
No!
sorry. I'm
Okay, that's okay.
sorry.
I'm gonna still attack it with my foot.
Okay.
So I'm going to roll for that
Yeah.
and do a. Oops, it's cocked. Roll out of the box. 13 plus 7, so a dirty 20.
That'll hit. Roll for
And then
damage.
it's a 1d8 plus 4. So that'll be 9. Is it force? I never remember this.
Yeah, it's force.
Okay, then that's 9 force damage.
Okay.
And
Is there
that's
anything
it.
else?
Nope,
Awesome.
that's it.
So, Mika, you watch this creature got in a little spat with Globabab, but kind of pushed him out of the way and started running in your general direction. Jenny Greenteeth managed to skitter on back, and her sickly, like, ray that attempted to hit it, it kind of just shrugged off, but her nasty foot that is still next to you just, like, kicked it right in the shin.
Okay. I'm gonna cast Tidal Wave.
Oh.
Yes.
Oh, like, okay.
So it has to make a dexterity saving throw.
Okay. It's not particularly dexterous. That is a 12.
Okay, so it takes 22 points of bludgeoning damage and
Nice.
is knocked prone.
Wow. Nice.
You said 22?
Yes.
Oh, buddy.
Does-
Okay.
Does water
this-
do more damage to paper?
Yeah, so you call forth your natural magical energy and summon a giant wave that kind of swirls up a bunch of the pieces of paper and crashes into this creature, and it kind of like tumbles off to the side and slams into a big stack of books, and it's all soggy and looking like a little, like the paper's like a little squishy and saggy. And that looked like it hurt it really, really bad, and it looks not happy. Is there anything else you would like to do?
I'm gonna just move like 20 feet, so I'm still like spaced out a bit from Jenny.
Okay, yeah, you can do that. So Jenny, you're probably, if you move back 30 feet, you're probably pretty close to where Sarvin is. And then
Okay.
I'm imagining Mika is like maybe like not quite as close, probably like 10 or 15 feet away, but also moved back in that direction. And then with that, that brings us back up to Fabio. Fabio, it's lying on the ground. It's damp. It looks mad.
Oh, wait, it's laying on the ground?
Yeah, it got knocked prone by Mika's tidal wave.
Okay. Now, when it's on the ground, is it level with us or is it down below us?
It didn't get washed in. It doesn't get moved by the tidal wave, right? It just
No.
gets knocked
No.
over. It's
Yeah.
still up on the ridge with you, but it's just like laying against, like, kind of against the wall.
Okay. Then,
I can't hear you, Matt.
Rip.
I muted myself for a reason that I forget. I was just saying I now understand. Well, I was envisioning this thing like standing outside the trash can, like the boss monster from an MMO.
that's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Wait, what were you
Okay.
thinking?
But like Matt and I were on the same page. We were thinking like we're staying on the lip of the trash can, and Godzilla's up there, so we're the group staying on the edge of the building, fighting Stay Puft.
Oh, that's
It
what I
is
thought
like-
too.
No, you guys are all up on the same level because you guys climbed out of the can. So you're all on like the same.
I thought it was like.
Yeah.
It's
Okay.
like it's a large creature. It's like 10 to 12 feet tall, so it's twice the size of all of you, but it's not like gargantuan.
Where does
Okay.
he get those wonderful toys?
Yeah.
So then Fabio is going to come running over to this thing
Mhm.
again. Oh, bloody hell! I don't know if he's smart enough. I know what
Monster or
Matt would do.
Fabio?
Fabio. Matt went, ooh, I could do this. Molfin would know. Fabio wouldn't. So Fabio's going to take a swing at its face.
Alrighty, roll for an attack.
Okay. And do I have advantage because he's prone?
Yeah.
This is... come on, like me. Okay. That is a 22.
Yeah, that's gonna hit.
Okay. I'm going to do the same thing again and pump my last spell slot into another spite.
Okay.
Because why the hell not? That's... okay. I should keep it straight. We'll roll you in there for the bludgeoning damage. And... okay, so that is... come on. Okay, so that's 10 points of bludgeoning damage
Mm-hmm.
and 17 points of force damage.
Ooh. 10 and 17, so another 27?
Nice.
Ooh. Oh, no. Yeah, you just kind of like bring your fiery like club up over your head and you just like almost like a cartoon character, like when they slam a sledgehammer and their feet like kick up in the air, you're just like bonk. And it like completely crushes like the shoulder like area of this creature, and the paper is like really wet too, so it just kind of like turns into this mush and just begins to like mush off of it. It's like making this gross like wet crackly like screeching noise. It's not happy at all.
And then I'm just going to like sit on its chest.
Okay, yeah,
They're just going to plop right down.
you're sitting on its chest.
Club up on the shoulder, just like...
Yeah, you are there. You are on it. Is there anything else you would like to do?
Nope.
Okay, Globobob. The paper creature is wet. It's getting a little squishy. Fabio's sitting on it. You're about 20 feet away from it.
Face him down. I forgot I have advantage because he's laying down. So
Mhm.
give me a second here. Let me re-roll with advantage to see if I crit on anything. I don't. Okay. All right. So I just run. I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
I run back up to him where he lays, and I'm just gonna go to like wherever the head is. As Fabio's like on his chest, and I'm like, I should have accepted my butts, and I'm just gonna start punching like, down into his head.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna spend another key point to do a flurry of blows to make a total of 4 attacks.
Ooh.
Oh my god.
One of them is a dirty 20. The other 3, oddly enough, are all 16s.
16 just hits right now.
Okay.
So they all hit.
Okay, that's a total of 26 bludgeoning damage.
Oh, so close. Oh. Yeah, you just like slam into this thing's head, and its head like honestly kind of flattens. And like one of the ink eyes has just melted, and there's just this kind of like grayish black smear on one side of its eye, and the other one is kind of like looking up at you, and it's beginning to melt too. It's like the whatever strange life force is powering this thing is almost snuffed out.
I guess as a free action, just before I complete my turn, I just like look down at the pancaked head, and I go like, I can do more acid stuff and make you feel better if you decide you want to cooperate. Maybe we stop fighting. I made you 2 nice gifts. You've been really rude so far.
Oh,
That will
man.
complete my turn.
It's sitting at about the same intelligence as you, so whether or not it understands what you want to do is you're not sure. Sarvin, your friends have totally laid into this thing. It's lying on the ground. It's like mostly like papery pulp. It's wet. The ink is like melting out of it.
Can Sarvin get within 15 feet of it?
Yeah.
If possible, I'd like to be like right over top of it if I can run up there. If
Mhm.
Sarvin can.
You can.
And trying to avoid Globabob and Fabio to the best of his ability starts to go and unleashes cold breath right towards the wet papery figure to try to freeze it.
Yeah. And
That's a DC
Ooh,
12
okay.
Constitution save.
okay. And I'll say it's a big enough thing that you're able to like do that. Like you probably can go for its legs since they're more up at like its head and chest, and you can get like more of its like lower half. Totally.
And if I have to hit
Yeah.
Fabio and Globabob, then so be it.
Oh, that's not good. 10.
That's going to fail, and it takes 4 points of cold damage. A big 4.
Oh boy. How would you like to incapacitate this creature?
I'll just say as Globabob is like slamming down on top of this creature and Fabio's just sitting up there relaxing and water's just dripping off, that water just starts to turn into icicles hanging from it as it completely freezes. And then Fabio, you've erupt with this sensation of coldness on your butt. And it's completely frozen and encased in ice.
Alrighty, yeah, and with that actually takes us out of this initiative, as your draconic ancestry helps you to totally freeze this papery, damp creature, and it becomes like a squishy icicle. And yeah, you all have done it, and you're looking down at its frozen. There's like, I like when frost kind of gets that like texture to it. It kind of like is like a little prickly. It's got like the little pricklies, and there's like a cold mist kind of around it, little icicles, and it's kind of just frozen there.
As it starts to freeze, Fire's just gonna lay out on his side, one elbow out, and hand over his midsection, sort of reclining sideways across its torso.
You look very picturesque.
Did we do it? Did we stop the block?
You made a block. It's ice.
Oh, right.
Oh. Well, personally, I think I made a splash.
The puns! There they are!
Punched him.
Yes, you did.
You did.
I thought we were just saying things we did. I guess I'm confused as to what's happening now.
Sarvin is going to try to go and pick up all the pieces of the butts.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, he doesn't have any way to reassemble them. So he looks, Jenny, remember, Globabob does have feelings. Do you...
Since what? I mean, yes.
Do you...
I have mending.
Oh, you do have a way to repair the butts. Can you help me repair the butts?
I guess I can repair the butts. And I will cast mending on the paper.
Yes.
Yeah, you can cast mending on the butts. Takes you a couple minutes, but
Okay.
you are able to repair the butts. They're fresh, they're smooth, they're supple, they're butts.
And then Sarvin along with the group will come back and hand the butts back to Globabob. We do appreciate you, Globabob.
Thanks. This makes me feel a little better about how hard I got punched a minute ago.
Oh yeah, does anyone need some healing?
I am fine.
I can do. Okay, I will give you some healing.
I can also heal
Okay.
if you want to save some of your spell slots.
Oh, okay. You can heal.
So I will cast Cure Wounds on
Okay.
Globabob
Go for it.
for a whole 9 points.
Nice.
Thanks. I feel slightly less crushed. And I've now mastered. I figured out how to do a finger gun, which I'm very impressed by.
That is
Now I won't stop. I'm just like.
Fabio, do you think that maybe we can help Paige's boss and perhaps take some of these pieces of ideas? And Jenny has an ability, she can put paper together. What if we tore some of the good ideas from some of the bad and assembled them into a new story?
We could make so many butts.
That's right, Globabob. Yes, we could.
Micah said butts are always good.
Yes.
We can make all the butts.
Yes.
Well,
Infinite butts.
What if we had a story?
variety is the spice of life, people. Maybe we could just do a couple butts, and maybe some feet, and some earwax, and other stuff too.
Toe jam.
Toenails?
Toenails. I'm a big fan.
Maybe some animals?
Okay, animals too.
No snakes.
No snakes.
No. But wolves are always good.
Okay, we can try, everyone. This is a very eclectic story. I don't know how it's gonna go together exactly, but sure.
Well, maybe we should make one story each.
Okay.
You sure Globabob will be up for it?
Well, he can make the story about butts.
Somebody might have to write it down for me. I can't read, and also I don't have fingers.
This is true. Is there like another door to another room or anything around here?
Not that you see. However, as you're having this conversation about putting together good ideas and making a story, Fabio, where you are resting against the corpse of this creature, you feel the paper like underneath the ice begins to like some of the ice begins to crack and shift. And you kind of like look down and you see that this creature, like where its body was made out of all like crumpled and ripped and twisted paper, it's beginning to smooth out. And there's still a lot of frost, like its whole lower half is totally frozen, but the top half eventually smooths out into like a more human-like torso, although it's still quite large. And it has this like round little head on its very broad shoulders and these broad arms. And the little ink eyes that looked very, very angry before, kind of like Globabob's little like angry eyes, they're kind of looking at you, and you can see that there's like an awareness of you in them, and it doesn't look like there's as much like maliciousness, and it's kind of like looking at all of you, and it kind of begins to try to push itself up.
Fabio is just going to turn over towards Sarah and just go, not dead?
And it kind of, as you go to swing back on it, it kind of, like, shields away, like it's afraid.
Maybe don't turn it.
What?
Looks kind of nicer now.
Let me see.
It kind of looks at Globobob, and it looks at Mika, and it looks at Globobob, and it looks at Mika, and it holds up its, like, big papery fist, and it turns it to the side, and, like, a little piece of paper comes up out of it.
Oh man, and Gollum's and like a single like gelatinous cube like tear comes down the side of the dummy face.
Construct's just vibing.
Yeah. And then it goes like and comes back in.
It kind of takes its other like hand, and like where before its fingers were like, it kind of looked like these like twisted points of paper. Now they're just like little book pages that gently flutter. It kind of gently pats Sarvin on the head, and it pats the butts.
Hey, easy there.
And it kind of pulls back when you say easy, and it kind of pats towards Jenny, and it pats towards like Mika, and it kind of gently like pats all of you on the head.
Huh.
Bobby will get off its chest.
I give it to I like kind of like mush the like pieces of the heart that I ripped back together, and I like offer it to him.
It takes it in its giant like papery hands, and its like ink eyes look big and watery, and on the paper a little drop of ink kind of slides down the page of its face. And it holds it. And when it pulls its hands away, like the little heart it appears like in ink on its chest.
Aww.
It's my favorite part so far, guys. I really like it. I really like this part.
It does its best. Its lower half is still pretty frozen, so it kind of gets up, but it has a bit of a hard time walking. But it kind of gestures. It like pulls a little page, and it puts it in front of like Jenny, and it sifts through another pile near it, and it pulls out a scroll, and it tries to like flatten the scroll in front of Fabio. And it takes like random little bits and pieces and kind of puts them in front of you. And the messages don't necessarily make any sense, but as you're looking at them, you think that like maybe you could put something together from pieces of these like pages and stories. Oh, thanks for the follow, Local Boy 79.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I will start mending them together. Whatever is given to me.
Yeah, why don't if you want, you can make a let's do an intelligence check.
Sure.
If anyone wants to help Jenny with this process in any way, you are more than welcome.
Yeah, someone give me advantage, because I rolled a...
Sarvin would be probably helping her do this, like gather ideas.
Much better.
Cool,
It was a 7, now it's a 17, so dirty 20.
Yeah, so Jenny, at first you're kind of like, you're picking up ideas of like, your like gnarled foot, corpse explosion, and you're like, yeah, and then Sarvin's like, and he kind of comes in and he picks out some other like words and pages and drawings that, I mean, you think it's disgusting, but to everyone else, it actually comes together to be like a pretty good tale, and you all kind of work together, and you put together a nice little story.
Oh, here's one about a beholder.
Oh, okay, I'll include that if you want.
Do beholders
This is my only contribution to the story.
Yeah.
Do beholders have
We'll put it
butts?
at the end.
Is that what you asked?
I've heard someone say this before.
They
do now.
Quick, actually, quick aside. This exact question derailed my my home game for about 30 minutes one night. we very much need to determine whether beholders had buttholes. The definitive answer does seem to be no.
Yeah, but you work together and you are able to put together a good story. If you want, you can each do one, or you can just take the one that you have and decide like what you're good with. The creature is helping you like sift through stuff and pick out good, like if you give it suggestions of like I want something about this, like it'll like go over and like pull out pages and help you find things.
Yeah. Okay. So
Let's just do one together.
yeah. Have all the good stuff in it.
Yes.
Sarvin, you feel a little rustling in your pocket again.
Oh, here comes the map. I get
No.
I'll let it page out.
Page flutters out of your pocket. Oof. That was getting a little scary. I woke up and there was just like thorns and arrows and water. I was kind of worried I might like melt away. You guys did a really good job.
You can sleep through all this? I'm impressed.
I slept through most of it. I kind of woke up towards the end when you were smushing his face in and then froze him. It was kind of cold. So, what'd you do?
Well, we beat the big... Yeah, well, we presented it with butts. It tore the butts. So we then beat the thing down and froze it. And now we're all friends.
Oh, that's awesome! That's pretty good, because, I mean, this guy, like, when he works right, he's pretty helpful. It seems like maybe he just kind of went a little haywire? I don't know.
You have any idea what caused it?
So we had to turn him off and on again.
Yeah, basically, you just have to beat the patootie out of him, beat his butts off, and then he kind of just, like, resets. As for what caused it, I mean... I'm pretty small, so all of this writer's block, like, inspirational issue energy hasn't really gotten to me yet, but this guy is, like, pretty big, and he works pretty closely with the boss, so, I think maybe their, like, negative energy kind of, like, infected him, like, he got sick. But you kind of kicked it out of him. I think you guys, I mean, between untangling, like finding the right path through the stories and helping this guy figure out what good ideas might exist amongst the ones that seem really bad, I think you might be ready to help my boss.
We can always try.
Do you want to go?
Sure.
Sure.
So then we just gotta beat him and then...
Yeah, do we have to turn him back off and on again?
You can try. It's kind of hard to explain. You'll see when we get there.
Wait. When we get there,
yeah,
are you going to take another nap?
I can try to help, but I'm pretty little and not very strong. But I can't really fight my boss, but I can try to help answer questions if you need them. But I mean,
what do we need to do to help him exactly?
Well, so I mentioned that writer's block, right?
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes when people come up with stories, they just have a hard time figuring out what they want to do, right?
Yeah.
So imagine if that was more literal. Like a literal block. And someone was stuck.
So we have to get him unstuck.
Yeah. But there's probably a lot of ways that you could do that. I'm just really little, so when I try to move the blocks, I can't do anything.
Fabio is looking at Paige and then over at Globabob and his sign.
Mm-hmm.
And having images of her boss with a cranial rectal problem.
Oh no.
And trying to picture how Paige got her boss's head stuck up his own rear end. You can just see his mouth sitting looking at the two confused and just chuckling to himself.
I mean, I told you I picked you guys because you're like really smart and really creative and really cool, and now you have all these cool powers. So I think you can figure out a bunch of ways to help. Probably, maybe. I don't know. I hope you don't die. You probably won't die.
Okay.
This must be some serious blockage.
Oh,
Yeah.
fiber.
Metamucil!
I
Well,
cast
it's not like-
cast Metamucil.
It's like instead of writer's block being like in here, like in like the head, it's kind of more like a roadblock, but like in front. Yeah, you'll see. Are you ready to go?
Sure.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay, jump in the trash can with all those bad ideas. Let's go.
Okay.
Literally full-on Olympic-style headfirst dive.
Sarvin waits for Globabob to go first, and then he'll jump in.
Oh yeah, as soon as she was like, jump in the trash can, I was like, okay. And he does it.
Mika and Jenny, are you jumping in?
Yep, I'm gonna jump in.
Cool. You all jump in, and you slide much easier through all of the clumps of paper, and you watch as they kind of unfold and form this like funnel that is kind of like spinning around of all these pages, and you're actually like very nicely like sliding down. It doesn't feel too precarious. You feel supported, and you all kind of gently float down, and you land on what looks like a massive page of a book. The words that are written on this page are like the letters are bigger than you are, and as you're looking down at it, the words slowly form out on the page, and then they scribble, and then another language appears, and those scribble out, drawings appear, and it's kind of just this shifting story that isn't quite finished. And it can never get to the next page. And when you look over at the next page, you can see why. So in the middle of this page, you see a very large creature. I guess it would be like huge category if you wanted to think of it in 5th edition mechanics terms, that looks sort of like a dragon. And you see little links of paper that are wrapped around its wings and then fastened down to the other page. And all around it, you kind of see these translucent, like, boxes. And there's no specific, like, outline or shape to them, but you just see ink blotches and words and drawings just swirling all around the creature. And occasionally, like, one of these, like spaces will kind of like push in if this creature tries to like claw out towards it and pull itself away, it'll push in and smack its like hand away, and it doesn't seem like its body can get beyond them. And the cubes are stacked about 15 feet high, but the creature is bound, and it doesn't seem like it can get its body like up from basically like what would be a prone position for a quadrupedal creature, and its wings are like completely flattened down. And it's like thrashing its long neck around. And you can see that it's actually like not a dragon in the way that like Sarvin, for example, might have seen before in his adventures. Its scales are made entirely out of like little pieces of paper. And its eyes again are just like little ink blotches. And it's there just kind of thrashing around. And you hear that like a very similar like crinkly screeching sound to the creature the golem that you had helped in the previous area. But you watch as those kind of ink cubes keep pushing the creature in, and they are preventing like the story from being written onto that next page. And so it just keeps like resetting on the page that you're on.
When we come out of the like paper vortex and arrive in this place, Globobob like stands up and he's like,
Do you have a mustache now and beard?
"Oh, things stick to me. I
it. Paige, are you still with us?
Yeah. Whew. I'm here.
Is your boss?
That's my boss.
Your boss is a paper dragon?
Well, that's kind of just how they look now. So their name is the Weaver. And they normally weave tails, but they've been feeling really frustrated, and sometimes like they kind of change depending on how they're feeling. So because they were feeling all big and mean and nasty and they couldn't write, they kind of turned into a dragon.
So it appears this paper dragon is being held against its will, not able to continue.
Yeah.
Anyone have any experience in saving paper dragons?
Not quite.
No. But I mean, if we destroy the blocks, that should do it, right?
Hey,
It's worth a shot.
Or we can beat the dragon, and then if it shrinks down, it can walk away.
I don't know.
What's easier to beat on, a dragon or a block?
I mean, I think maybe if you beat on it enough, that could help. I don't really want to get my boss hurt, though. But if you think that's the best way to do it, then you can do that.
when did you develop key fingers?
I didn't hear what you said. Sorry. What, Sarah?
I was wondering how Globobob developed flicky fingers.
Oh.
I've been practicing.
Very nice. Okay, so let's try the box first and see how they react.
Now, are we in like, is this like a 3D environment now, or are we just looking at a book and just seeing this? Like, is it?
You're like, it's like you're standing like on the page, but everything, like you are 3-dimensional
Okay.
on this book page, but everything around you, like outside of the space of this massive book, is just like blackness.
Okay. Yeah, I just didn't know if we had
Okay.
to like, we were just reading the book and we had to get into the book somehow before we could do anything.
No, you're
Solid.
you're like on the book.
Okay.
And all of these things that you're seeing, like with the dragon and the kind of like inky like cage around it, that's all like 3-dimensional.
I think I had an idea.
Whoa. Really, Globobob?
I know.
Well, please share it with the group.
Okay. Hang on. This is the first time this has happened to me. Okay. So,
Why is some
like,
of his goo dribbling out of his nose?
He's just Paige. Let him go.
Okay, sorry.
Easy.
Just hard as Glob.
okay. Okay. So, that dragon writes the stories. But when the dragon has trouble with the stories, the other thing appears. So the other thing doesn't like the stories. What if we did something with the story that we brought from the other where we were, and then it would leave the dragon alone and come after us, and then we punch it.
Yeah,
I don't have
that's-
hands.
That's actually a really great idea, Globbobob. Did you think of that all on your own?
Maybe.
This is a great idea. How do we put it into motion? Should we just
look at the little? I look at Paige and I'm like, how do we do the thing?
Paige kind of, as a map, flutters out of Sarvin's hands and turns back into the little person. Maybe you can try to grab parts of, like, all this moving stuff, because that's the block. And maybe if you grab parts of it, and then you can put it on this page that's not blocked. Like, turn it, smush it so that it's, like, your story, and put it on this page so it's not blocked.
I knew
And
we
then-
had this for a reason.
Yeah, you can put butts on the page, and then maybe when all the block is gone, if the Weaver takes the time and reads your story, maybe they'll get inspired, and then they can do the second page.
Yeah.
they'll be
You just have to make sure they're really frustrated and upset, so
Nope.
you have to say, like, you can do it.
they'll be attracted to the butts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll trap the bad guys in our butts.
Totally.
Alright. Okay.
Wow. Wowie.
We apologize
Who
in
doesn't do
advance.
I never
One
thought
problem
as a
turns into
player, I would love and hate playing with someone as much as I do with that. Because it is literally one of the best just
Why I'm like this, you guys?
characters, man.
So much fun. Well, we're sorry, Victoria. We really are.
No, you're fine. No, I'm chilling. I got to eat another carrot. It's fine, you know? I'm really glad that this is the turn that the DM's one shot took. It's lighthearted is less nerve wracking, you know?
I agree.
It's gonna
But the-
be Master of the DMs, Tale of the Butts.
Sorry. A tale of two butts. What is?
Fabio's just gonna sit down.
What if
Yep,
we
you
write
sit.
a really inspiring story about friendship and also butts?
Okay.
Sounds good. I think we should include something about Fabio's hair in there.
Of course. Just like it. How can you not be inspired by that?
Paige kind of like looks at Fabio for a while and like looks at all of you, and then they kind of like clench, almost look like they're like constipated, but you watch as like paper, like pieces of paper sprout from their hair gets longer, and they try to have Fabio hair, but it's a cheap imitation.
Try.
I'll do the same thing
I
with like
understand that.
you. Was that off my head?
Kind of gross. All right. Well, are we attacking the blocks? Or are we writing a story? I'm confused.
I guess
Well,
we're
we have to get the ink from the
Why not both?
blocks.
Which one first?
Oh,
Well,
right.
No, I can't.
Why don't we split the party and half of us write the story?
Yeah.
I'm not sure that's a good idea.
Okay.
Blobba Bob can write.
But then it would only be butts.
Ah, true.
That is the only word I know how to write.
That's true.
Yes.
What if we just put something together and just, like Globba Bob was saying, just take it in there and see if you can trap him with the story and then just take him away?
Right. I will write because I'm pretty sure I'm the only one that can. So
I mean, I can
I
write.
mean,
I
I
just
can
have terrible
write.
handwriting.
okay. I wasn't sure. So but you have claws, and Mika, do you want to write?
I mean, I guess I can.
Okay, we'll come up with a story real quick, and then we'll throw it at them.
Maybe Fabio and I can just take it up to them.
Okay, you can do that too.
What do you think?
And then we hit him with it.
I guess if they don't, like, jump to it, I guess we gotta trap them in the story. If that doesn't work, I guess, like before, we go plan B.
Kill the map.
Don't kill the
I'm
man.
not a map anymore.
All right.
Also, if we do that, I'm not sure we can ever get home. So
True.
Bingo.
True enough.
Very true.
Oh yeah.
I can show you how to put the words on the page. I'm just not strong enough to. Ha! Words on the page. My name's Paige. Yeah. If you can grab them, they're kind of wiggly. All of the writer's block bits, but if you can grab them and you can kind of like, and then like you can do those things and write your story and put it on this big piece of paper, and then yeah, like you can put it on them, and then I don't know what'll happen.
Are there words? Are there like words flying around us in the air?
That's like what
Oh.
like this kind of like weird cagey wall that is surrounding this creature is on this page. They're like, sometimes they're words, other times they're just like blobs of ink or drawings. And they're kind of just like swirling around.
How far are we from the wall of this cage?
30 feet.
I was just gonna sort of look at the group. Like,
So
well, we gotta grab the words, I guess.
I had
the one idea. Now I'm confused.
I have this, and Sarvin pulls out a hunting trap. Can we lure the words into here and grab them with this, or I don't know.
Maybe. You could try.
So we get the good words and we put them on the page. And we do karate to the bad words. Is that right?
I don't know
Well,
what
you can
karate is.
like you can if you don't like what one of the words or the ink things is, you can kind of just hit it until it becomes what you want it to be.
Oh,
we can
We
okay.
take the bad words and we hit it to make it butts.
Yeah, like any of there's the words are always like changing. So if you kind of just think really hard about what you want any of the parts of the writer's block to be, and you work together and you just kind of beat it up, then it'll be anything.
You know, I like this idea. Sarvin knocks an arrow.
Fabio's gonna start walking over towards the wall then.
Okay.
Nothing, it just looks like he's trying to walk over to try to like grab and pull something.
Yeah, make an athletics check.
Oh, okay. Well, shit, I actually think I'm decent at those. You know, cabin boy.
The cabin boy.
Yeah, Yeah, that's a 25.
No.
Oh, yeah.
Whoa.
You wait for like a tendril of ink to kind of swirl up, and you very deftly kind of just reach out and grab it like you're like wrangling a fish. I don't know. And you have a hold on it. You can feel that it's moving, but you're able to grab it and pull it out of this like walled like ring of writer's block. And you're holding like a malleable whatever you want it to be, like ink.
And just looking over it back towards the group standing about 30 feet away. Just again, with every fiber of his being just concentrating. Butts. Lowers this tendril like a lance and goes charging right at Paige. Butts on
What?
the page.
Butts?
On the
Okay.
page.
No, not
Um,
the page.
Don't, you're misinterpreting, Fabio, I think.
Make an attack roll.
Oh no.
I'm assuming this is an improvised weapon, correct?
Yeah.
Good. I'm proficient in those.
Oh no.
Okay, let me see here. That's a 23.
Is this
Yeah.
a situation we think he's about to kill our guide?
Yes.
Because I will try and throw myself in the path of his attack if that's what's about to happen.
All right,
Look,
so
you can see that he's got this length of ink, and he's running right at Paige.
Globobob, make a dexterity saving throw to see if you can get and block it in time.
It's a 23.
And what was the attack roll?
The same.
Meets it, beats it. Okay, so you throw yourself in front of little Paige at the last second, and this
Wait, I think that's the wrong thing.
this inky lance hits you. You don't take any damage, but you fall to the ground, and interestingly enough, because you're very like liquidy and also wood, you kind of like look down at your like weird blobby like construct self, and just the word butts is like written all over you. And it's like it's in your blobby bits, but because you're like that's like more liquid, the butts are like slowly like fading and just turning into like swirls.
That's amazing.
You feel like the wind was knocked out of you if you breathe, but you don't breathe, so you just kind of feel a tightness in your wooden chest. I don't know.
I was looking down at blah blah blah. But he said, "Words on page."
The big page.
I think they meant under your feet,
The one
Fabio.
we're standing
Yeah.
on.
Oh yeah, sorry, that gets confusing. You can put words on me if you want, though.
Oh.
I'm like on the ground. I'm like, guys, did you see what I did? That was pretty cool, right?
Paige, I'd be careful saying that. You might end up covered in butts.
The paper. On the paper, I'll say the paper.
Hey,
I mean, I don't know. You guys said butts were really good, so wouldn't it be good to be covered in butts?
Well,
I get back up and I'm like, hey, I think I had another idea, you guys.
oh.
Whoa, this is like 2 in like
This is a lot.
10 minutes.
Okay. I'm gonna take a couple of feet away from the group. And here's what I would like to attempt.
Mm-hmm.
The wooden mannequin frame begins to like, and then just sort of like falls to the ground
Mm-hmm.
as Globobob extracts himself from inside it and is now just
A blob.
gelatinous cube blob. I would then like to go like Roomba over to the wall of all the ink and words and just sort of like take a pass through it,
Yeah.
absorbing all of the like ink and gunk
Nice.
inside myself,
Mm-hmm.
and then like bring it back to the group, just like.
Yeah, why don't you make a dexterity check to see how well you can do?
That is
Just-
an 18 plus 6.
Oh yeah. You are able to suck up like a good chunk of this writer's block. And with a roll that high, luckily, like as you remove the pieces, you can see that like part of this dragon's like limbs, like its tail, can kind of lash out in more space now. But you're able to avoid them kind of just by like altering your shape. You just kind of like bloop around. And you pretty much go from, are you normally like that kind of like bluish greenish clear color like of a gelatinous? Yeah, you are pretty much all like black now, like opaque with ink.
Yeah, so I just like rover back to the party, and I'm like, guys, oh, I feel weird. I feel real weird. Boy, can you do the paper thing? I'll goop out the words, and you can go from there.
Touch just a finger to Globbobob and think really hard about the story I want to tell.
Can you give me 2 seconds? The cat is like being crazy.
It's okay. I just wanted to point out to you guys, chat is starting a new drinking game to this stream. Every time someone says the word butts, they take a shot.
Listen, we cannot be responsible for murder.
Okay, I am going to say continue that Friday night, and I will make sure you are hammered within the first 30 minutes.
Oh, no.
We cannot afford to pay for
Rangers.
anyone's hospital bills.
Oh, Globbobob. I love Globbobob.
Yeah, Globbobob was not. Oh, you had your headset on.
I'm going au natural.
The way we met Globbobob was someone walked into him, I believe.
Oh no,
I know we lost Victoria.
we lost somebody,
No, who would lose? Oh,
and we
Matthew.
lost Blitz.
He's coming back.
We walked into Globbobob, literally. Like, he was in front of us. in
We're
this
all
really
rearranged
small
now.
Tube.
Yeah.
Oh, did I make it back?
Yeah.
I'm in
well, I
I'm
don't
in
see
Jenny's
your.
box.
There you
There
are.
we go.
Victoria's in mine.
You're back.
Oh, there we go.
And there's 2 Michaels. I have-
Yeah, I'm like, my internet's taking a poop.
I'm sorry. She likes to knock over this lamp, and I really didn't want porcelain stuff like breaking in the middle of this.
Shut up, Jason. Yes, I know that was a technical difficulty.
Yeah, free space for those of you playing Proficiency Bonus Bingo this week.
Yeah. So Mika, you are able to actually let's do a wisdom check for me.
Okay. Natural 20. So
Oh,
25.
nice.
Nice.
Okay, yeah. You are able to reach into Globbobob's globby blobby bob body. You do suffer 1 point of acid damage just from reaching into him, but you are able to pull out a lot of the ink that's in him. And you kind of, it's weird because it is a physical process, but you also are like thinking what you want it to be, and like you're almost like it's like you're passing, because you can kind of manipulate the elements in water, so it's like you're kind of passing this like stream of ink onto the page, or sorry, the paper that is beneath you, like the floor. And as you do that, you are able to write a good like quarter of the space and write it full of like a story that you want to tell.
Nice.
And Globbobob is pretty much back to being mostly clear.
Back into my mannequin.
Does it look like to us, Victoria, that we still need to do more work on this?
Yeah, it seems like the piece of paper beneath you is 3/4 of it is still blank. Make an intelligence check, Sarvin.
Oh, that's not very good for me.
You're literally better than
Oh, wow.
at least 2/5 of the party.
I did roll a 16, so it's a 16.
Yeah, based on what you're seeing of these kind of writer's blocks, it seems like there should be roughly the right amount of ink in them to fill this page. So by using up all of the writer's block, you should pretty much clear it and write your story on the page. Sorry, the paper.
Sarvin will try to help out by taking his hunter's trap, which I guess would be kind of like a small game cage of some sort, and then just try to walk up to this wall of all this ink and just try to like scoop into it and just grab as much as he can in the cage, if possible.
Yeah. So, oh my god, this cat! I can't. Let's have you roll a survival check.
Okay. Will do. That is an 18.
Yeah, so using your trap and as you're looking at like the tendrils of ink in the writer's block, there are parts of it that actually seem to mimic like the movement of animals, like snakes and like worms and different fish. And watching those bits, you kind of wait, and then just at the right moment, you unleash your trap, and you're actually able to capture a solid amount of the ink there.
Right,
You have it all in your trap.
Sarvin will take the trap over with all this to the next like sentence or paragraph area of the page, and Mika, can you continue? I don't do acid damage, so it's not gonna hurt you. And open up the cage and just kind of like let the ink go out onto the page.
I will continue the story.
Okay. Roll me another wisdom check. If anyone wants to help with telling the story, you can totally do that. Or you can focus on like gathering up the ink.
I'll help with telling the story.
Okay, yeah. So Jenny comes up with the page that you guys put together, like the little story page, and helps you come up with some ideas. So you can roll with advantage.
22.
22? Yeah, so your ideas are flowing really, really well. You're bouncing some really good stuff off of each other, and you're able to get the next quarter of the paper filled. So now it's halfway filled.
Hey.
And it's looking pretty good. It's pretty interesting.
I am going to go closer to the block, and I will turn into a giant octopus, and I'll use my tentacles to grapple words.
Nice.
Awesome.
Make a dexterity check using the octopus's dexterity. Or if the octopus has a special like acrobatics proficiency, you can do that too. I don't know what an octopus stat block looks like.
It like grapples with strength, basically.
Oh, if it does strength, then make a strength roll. I was assuming it was dexterity. That's my fault.
That's a 5.
Oh no.
Okay. You go to grab at the words, but your kind of squishy, slippery octopus body is kind of like you can grab them, but even no matter how hard you pinch, it's kind of just like pinching like water, and the ink just kind of like is flowing out. Like you feel like you could have a really nice swim if all of this like ink was in like one like pool. But something about the fact that you're an octopus, that you can squirt ink, and like you are a water creature is just like something's not right here. Sorry.
So
I get mad and I drop out of octopus form and go into giant spider instead.
Yeah.
And I will try to web words.
Nice.
Yeah, let's see. For that one would probably be like a dexterity.
Yeah.
Or like an attack. If you wanted to make it an attack roll, you can make it an attack roll.
It's a ranged weapon attack normally.
Go for it. Yeah, do it.
Okay, that's 15.
Yeah, so you are able to web up a bunch of blobs of ink, and because your giant spider web is like super secure, it's like stronger than steel, those suckers are not getting out, and you're able to kind of like pull them back, and you kind of like back over to where Jenny Greenteeth was.
Yeah.
With you writing the story. Would you like to like put it onto the page?
Yes.
Okay. So I'll have Jenny. You can roll a wisdom check with advantage.
okay, so that is a 10, and that is 18. So 18.
Perfect. Yeah, you are able to get another couple paragraphs down. You're almost done. The story on this piece of paper is coming out like really cool. You threw in some plot twists. You even managed to put in the word foot, so you're really happy. And the piece of paper is almost done. You're 3/4 of the way there.
Just
Fabio,
a
is
little-
there anything you want to do to help out? The dragon is pretty much exposed. There's like one little section of ink left, but it seems like you could like actually get to it now.
Do you have a harpoon? You're a cabin boy.
Fabio goes into that little pouch and pulls out this massive great club that looks sort of like a paddle.
Uh-huh.
It's like,
Paddle the words. Swim your way through them.
Seduce them with your hair that you have.
Fabio,
Okay, he's thinking about it.
Fabio is going to walk over
Uh-huh.
and literally do it. Puts the medal away, walks over, looks at where the writer's block is
Uh-huh.
going to lay down on his side,
No.
and then as he puts his hair there, runs his hands up along the back of his neck into his hair, and go flip it back into the water.
Nice. I love it.
Trying to seduce the ink
Seduce the
to
words.
dye his hair
No.
black.
Wow.
Because-
1 second. Oh wow.
Oh my goodness.
Okay. Why don't you give me a persuasion check?
Okay. Wow, I thought I had proficiency in those. Oh,
Wow.
well.
I feel like persuasion is the closest thing that I can think of for
Okay,
seduction check.
that's not horrible. That is a 17.
Ooh.
You all watch as Fabio the cabin boy kind of saunters over to the writer's block, gives his hair a sexy little flick as he kind of sexily prostrates himself before the ink. He gives a little come hither crook of his finger, and you watch as the ink swirls up into like blob, and it is sucked up into his hair, and his normally like golden brown luscious tresses are like the color of a midnight sky. And he did it. He did it. DC was 15 to do that.
Then Fabio is just sort of gonna walk back over again, lay down in that same pose. This time she'll brush the hair back and just let it fall onto the paper.
Do I actually have to write with this? Oh, okay.
Okay, yeah, Jenny, you can make another wisdom check with advantage since you have a little sultry like inspiration from Fabio.
My days. That's a 23.
Whoa.
That's perfect.
Nice.
The DC literally went up to 21 for the last bit.
Oh.
It's going up with each paragraph. You are able to finish the last bit of your story on this piece of paper. It's pretty cool. It's very good. You all are, those of you who can read are reading over it, and you're like, yeah, this has a little bit of everything that like a lot of people could like, and we worked on it together. And it's looking pretty good. And Paige is there reading it like, whoa, there's a foot and butts. Whoa. That's really good. Wow.
Did we help and free your boss?
Well, the writer's block is gone. I think now they just maybe need a little help with their confidence, but I think we're pretty much done.
It was a
Here, will you all come with me?
Sure.
Sage holds out their little, like, paper hand to the group of you. Come on. Takes Mika's hand,
Sarvin kind of
puts out the other hand,
reaches out towards the little hand.
grabs your little hand. Okay, everyone.
Not even noticing he's looking at his hair, like.
Okay, everybody,
That's
come on.
fine.
Let's go. And
I'll
Paige
follow.
begins leading you all over to where the dragon is. And as this process has happened, as the writer's block has kind of melted away, the anger and like the physical outbursts that this creature has been trying to make have slowly lessened, and you can see that it's kind of just like looking around. And it's not fighting against its the bindings anymore, it's just kind of watching the whole process and watching as you all approach. And Paige leads you up. Hey boss, these are my friends. They're like they're not as good as me at writing stories, or not as good as you at all, but they're like pretty talented. And they wrote this story for you. Everyone say hi.
Hi.
Hi there, Paper Dragon Boss.
It's his way of greeting people. It means he likes you.
I'm shy right now.
The dragon looks at all of you with appraising glances and kind of like takes in a big breath and lets out a huff, and little like confetti pieces of like paper like almost blow out of its nostrils and kind of like scatter all around you. And it looks at you, and then it kind of just like looks down and is kind of like looking away.
You don't have to be this way, you know. Writer's block happens. It happens to us all. You don't have to do all this on your own, you realize. In fact, sometimes it helps to have others to bounce ideas off of, or even tell parts of the story for you. You don't have to do it all yourself.
Sometimes, when you do get stuck, people like us show up. And then we do a bunch of stuff. And then you can just pretend it was your plan the whole time. That'd probably work.
It's true.
Sarvin. Roll a persuasion check with advantage.
Okay. Persuasion with advantage. Well, I don't think we're going to get better than that. That's a natural 2022.
Oh.
As you and Globobob are kind of imploring this creature to kind of cast aside its negative self-image and to embrace cooperation in its storytelling, its big inky dragon eye turns back towards you, and it kind of moves its head, and it can't really lift its head up very high. It can only sort of swivel it back and forth, but it puts its head right up in front of you, so its snout is right there, and its snout is like as tall as you are, Sarvin. And it kind of is looking at you, and you hear a very like satisfied kind of grumble, kind of from its chest when you say that. And as it lets out the breath, you watch as like the little paper chains all kind of like boom, 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 they all pop. And after the last one pops, it lets its big wings stretch out, and it kind of shakes its body. And it slowly sits up, and you can see it has these very, very long claws that they have like very, very sharp, fine points that turn black at the edges, almost like it has like a writing appendage but for every single one of its claws on its front legs. You're right, little dragon friend. And it brings up its big, meaty claw, and it very gently pats you on the head, Sarvin. I probably should have looked for a bit of help earlier. When you're in charge of all of the stories that are ever told, it kind of gets to be a weight on your shoulders. But, and it kind of looks over, and you see its eyes very quickly darting back and forth, and it kind of goes down the piece of paper. This is a pretty good story that you started here. I think I feel much better about getting back to work now. I think I can help you finish this one. Or rather, you can help me finish it. Thank you all for your help. Writer's block is not fun. Neither is a cat clawing at my leg. And Paige, I think there's a promotion coming in your future. And Paige is like, whoa! I'm really cool. Thanks for your help, everyone. That was awesome.
Fabio,
Thank you, Paige.
Fabio, you almost prevented that promotion. You realize this?
Huh? How?
I don't think he realizes that.
Oh, you knew what he was gonna say. No, it just would have said butts all over me.
Yeah.
If he lit me on fire, I would have been gone in an instant. But some ink, that feels good. It kind of tickles.
Oh,
Don't good. Don't. You might not want to give him any ideas.
Yeah.
Paige kind of takes a couple steps back.
I should have thought of that. But
Yeah,
when we
everything's
were
made out of
fighting that
paper
big thing
here.
out of paper, I could have made my club on fire.
Yeah, you could have lit everything here on fire.
Well,
Perhaps our work here is done.
Oh, yeah. Hey, boss. Can you separate their souls from these bodies and send the souls back to the original bot? I kind of tangled some stuff up, but you're the weaver of tales, so surely you can do a little weaving and unweaving of, like, some souls, right? And the weaver kind of like, yes, Paige, I can do that. Everybody, this is going to itch. And you watch as claws come down, and the claws pierce each of your bodies on one hand, but it doesn't hurt. It just kind of is this weird, like, deep itch feeling. And then everything goes black.
My kidneys.
And when you awaken, you are Sarah and Matthew, Alex, Matt and Michael, back in your comfy beds, in your homes, in various places in the world. That was a weird dream. You probably shouldn't have eaten that fish for dinner last night. But you're pretty excited for your upcoming game, and you, for some reason, are feeling extra excited and inspired to tell some stories with your friends. And that is the end of our DM's one-shot.
yeah.
Awesome.
Well done, Victoria. Well done.
Well done, Master of Dungeon Masters. That was
Hardly.
fantastic.